right, I see. Where are we live? Yeah, I think we're live. All right. Like midday action, right? Midday action. Get after this market a little bit here. Okay. Uncle Johnson there, Power and Profit to the family. Any distinguished, people that have stopped by and hung out with your brother today or want to hang out with your brother today. I appreciate you. Humbled and honored by that as always. Just kind of opening up my little day a little bit here on the back end of the day. Or if you want to call it that 12 o'clock hour. I had some things to take care of earlier. So right now, just got some things, a few trades in the process of moving here. Waiting on this news here.
Closely today. This after earlier in the day, Takeda came public with a bid that was already rejected by Shire under UK takeover law.
Okay, that's the old Shire. The SHPG trade. A lot of people took that trade earlier today too, and did pretty well with it.
About 60% of that consideration was in Takeda shares.
All right, yeah. So we'll see. All right. So again, thank you guys for stopping by. Grand afternoon, I should say. Grand afternoon to the family. Again, hope everybody's day is off to a great start. At this midday hour of the day, the so-called turning point of the market, so to speak, as they say. So we'll see what comes from that in any aspect that we, if most of us are already on the right side of the trade doing well, right, and we're green terms of our value, then that's to be commended. So, so again, excited you guys stopping by, hanging out with your brother. Very appreciative of that. And we're gonna make the best of the rest of this day if we can. If you guys aren't already, just again tearing it up to the upside or downside if you're shorting. All right. So thank you, family. Mateo, for stopping by. Family, always. Oh, you already know it, King. Thank you for stopping by. All right. See, family, Jason. Jason in the house. Thank you for stopping by today, family, as well. Appreciate you. Always humbled, honored, privileged. Right. All right. The beautiful Eva Monica Lamb in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for stopping by today. Honored. Right? Thank you for stopping by today, sis. You say, are you in an investment group? Is that question directed to me, sis, or beyond the Facebook group, or is just you asking just in general? Let me know exactly, too. If you're asking me directly that question as well. Again, everybody, anybody, a few of you guys are stopping by today. Again, appreciate you guys. You say yes. Meaning public groups, like Discord groups, or just organized based type groups, and keep on, you guys can come on the panel too. Let me get the link for the panel. So you guys want to come on. Again, like I said, get in the habit, if you do stop by, want to stop by, it's totally your choice. But I do want to get in the habit of sharing the ability for you guys to come on the panel if you choose. Might want to again discuss your trades, talk about some current events, whatever, in any event, definitely excited that you guys even stopping by, period. So I'm humbled by that. The blueprint. Oh yeah, Sister Camille, definitely. And obviously, Sister, God dog it, Dr. Ma, excuse me. The group that they have with the reading club, the Ram Book Club, excuse me. Every now and then I get a chance to peek in on it because those time frames, I'll be trying to do so much or whatever the case. So, but yeah, definitely familiar with that, Sister Monica. So definitely, to be, am I fluently, in and out every scenario? Not as much, but I do kind of peek in from time to time. I do appreciate that. Our Sister Camille is awesome. Obviously, she's always, spreading her wings, getting out there, finding knowledge, and expanding her horizon, so to speak, in a lot of ways. So, definitely, I want to, keep my ear to the ground. Anything coming from the Ram Book Club, you guys are awesome over there. Obviously, in terms of Dr. Martin, the rest of the family. I know Sin Shun, he also is a part of it too. He's in a part of it. A part of it, I should say, excuse me. But I'll keep my eyes, my eyes and my ears peeled to that too. So to be able to make sure I'm coming on top of that, so to speak. So thank you for that, Sister Monica, as well. Thank you for that little bit of news. I didn't know that. I can share what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah. Let me post the link, guys. So, for you guys that's coming in a little bit, thank you for stopping by again. you know, I appreciate you guys. Uncle Jocelyn, Power and Profit. That's the link to the Google Hangout, guys. If you want to come on the panel, discuss your trades, go with some ideas with terms of current events, whatever the case, you definitely welcome here. As I always say, you know, anytime you see my little light on, whatever, if I'm streaming live, you welcome to come on here, guys. You already know how I feel about that. You know, your brother is always, you know, humbled by that. So I see family Francisco in the house. Thank you for stopping by today, family. Thank you. Thank you. I see family break free from 9991 in the house. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you as always. You know, humbled, honored, privileged. You know, again, just kind of getting the habit of sharing my little moment. You know, little open screen trades and so forth on things of that nature. You know, just kind of just sharing the knowledge, sharing the info, right? Sharing the experience, so to speak. Right? We need, you know, good think tanks, you know, here and there that can help us, you know, become a little bit more, again, you know, refined in our craft as investors or traders, right? And again, this is a great tool in terms of YouTube or any of these live streaming apparatus that will give us that kind of platform to kind of go on, you know, give us that opportunity to give us the visual aspect, I should say, too, along with the audio, where we can kind of trade these markets and benefit from that. So, as I always say, surround yourself with great people. Surround yourself with, you know, people that are obviously, you know, definitely perusing things that you're perusing, right? These permanent interests that we keep talking about. Again, the stock market is definitely one for all of us if we're an investor or a trader, and how we can use these things to benefit us in the long run. So again, by that very token, I'm humbled to be able to share a little bit of whatever I know about the market and helping us become solid. All right. So thank you, Oba Chris, for stopping by as always, family. You already know it. Always, brother. Thank you for stopping by, family. I see my family Aunt in the house. Thank you for stopping by today, Aunt G. Thank you, family. Hope your day is going well. You know, trades and everything. I hope you guys are tearing it up, you know, knocking out the park. You know, the market's kind of, you know, open up red, but you know, these are days that you also can get paid too, because the entire market's not red just because the main aspect of some of the bigger stocks are red. There's always a stock moving. There's always a stock moving, right? And again, especially if you could trade the stock up or down, you know, you'll never have to worry about that anyway, right? So again, thank you guys for stopping by. You know, yeah, so if you got trades you got going on right now, definitely post them in the back chat. We can discuss them. If you want to come on the panel, discuss your trades or just anything going on in terms of the market that you may want to kind of, you know, talk about. All right. You definitely can come on the panel as well. The link is in the description box, or excuse me, the back chat panel and the YouTube chat panel there. You can definitely come on and click that link if you can. Let me know if it's working or not, and I'll come up with another way to get you onto the panel if you so choose to want to come on. All right. So with that being said, again, you know, humbled that you guys are stopping by today. You know, with your brother here to kind of, you know, share a little bit of your day as well.
Peace and love.
Hey, great peace and love, family. Thank you for stopping by today. All right, humbled. All right, you got that beautiful weather going down in Texas right now. You as well, Monica. I know it's beautiful down in South Carolina today.
I don't know. I'm stuck in the office doing payroll, but real quick.
Say again.
I don't know what it feels like. I said I'm stuck in the office doing payroll. I don't know what it feels like outside, but
Oh, okay. You locked into to your task, huh? Hey, it'd be like that sometimes. You know how it is. It's like that sometimes. You got to handle business, right? You know,
what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what I wanted to ask was what came up was on Saturday's show. Oh, there goes Sister Camille right there. On the Saturday show was whether or not you was a part of an investment group. You know, I think at the end of
you guys
the
mute your mic real quick so I can hear the sister real quick. 1 second. I try to figure out to get this thing done where we can I'll get there. I get a mixer or something like that. So
yeah, where the I think at the end of the book it speaks in reference to group investments, and so the question had came up whether or not you was a part of one of those investment groups. You know, like where you pull a pool of people together and you take what you invest and I guess invest in more cash producing assets. Maybe Camilla could probably clear it up a little better than I can, but she had recommended you for having a training group and the work that you're doing with training us in investments. So that question had came up. Yes, we're all individually investing, but are you a part, or have you been, or are you a part of a greater cause with investments? And I think it was in the terms of an investment group. Am I right, Sis Camilla?
Yes. Sister Dr. Maya was, asking about that because, we're just trying to find some solutions as far as, building companies and businesses and, enterprise and money in our community. So when we were reading in our group, we're reading Barbara Amos Wilson's book, Blueprint for Black Power, and one of the things he suggested was investment groups. Right. And he kind of broke it down as far as the dollar value that, you know, I mean, it varies, but, you know, I was just speaking, you know, like telling the family about, you know, you as an investor and a trader, and, you know, that you really know and understand what's going on in the market and money wise. So then Dr. Mayotte was asking whether or not, you know, you had an investment group, or would you be interested in, you know, helping us along the way to start our investment group?
Okay. Yeah, like I was just telling Eva Monica, you know, obviously, you know, every now and then I kind of peek in on the Ram Club too. You know, obviously I didn't catch that segment or whatever, but I mean, you guys know this is our dynamic. This is what we're here. Basically, this is what we're here for. I mean, just to put it in, you know, in layman's terms, this is what we're here for. You know, in that regard, we're trying to build one another, build each other, build as a group, build as a whole. You know, in terms of being able to have access to capital. You know, in a way that's dynamic, also in terms of the market. But I mean, you guys are seeing it now. Now that you kind of been acclimated a little bit to it, you know, be it through the training, or just kind of now you're paying attention a little bit to the market here and there, and you're seeing, you know, there's some, you know, some value, all right, the underlying value that a lot of people, you know, kind of spoke about, but never really kind of broke down, you know, the intricate values of how beneficial it is, you know, once you can kind of get locked into it, you know, as an investor or a trader. And especially if you want to make large block type, you know, group investments, obviously, you know, in some cases, you know, there's some value of legality that comes along with it in terms of you doing it, you know, from a contractual perspective. But obviously, you know, if you just guys get together and pool some money together and whatever, you know, you say, well, hey, you know, it's like, okay, so well, let me loan you $5, you know, whatever you do with it, that's on you, right? And then you come back and say, hey, you know, I appreciate you loaning me that money. You know, here's 20 back. You see what I'm saying? From a legal standpoint, because obviously, you know, you can't make any group investment obviously outright under a brand without having a Series 7 license in that regard, right? That's just, you know, natural law value. But again, there's no barred value when it comes to you know, someone, you know, loaning you or just say, hey, here's money, not even loaning, but here's this money. And then, you know, you come back out of your goodwill of your own heart and be like, hey, I'm gonna bless you back with 20, right, so to speak. But again, just putting it into context, the whole, you know, again, the whole totality of what we're doing is just based around getting people excited about getting after financial literacy, you know, at any aspect, especially if you have a good think tank or, you know, a group or, you know, whatever that you in, be it you got Discord. I know I got some people, you know, friends from the Discords up in here, you know, we got people from Twitter, we got people from Stock Twits, you know, we all over the place. But again, we all have a common interest, right? And that's what, you know, financial literacy is all about, using the stock market, right? At some aspect of that, you know, of financial literacy. So, you know, for me, I don't mind, you know, again, if we can find a time, you know, we can kind of, you know, come up with some ideas possibly, you know, then, you know, discuss it, so to speak, and then we'll see what we can do. You know, you guys know I am, you know, I'm very open when it comes to trying to do my part and in terms of trying to pay it forward, you know, whatever the case, if I can. So,
well, thank you. I'll let the family know. I won't be on the show this Sunday because I'm playing, but I'll still let them know. I'll, you know, hit Dr. Mayotte with a message, and I should be on the following Sunday.
Okay.
And you know,
no worries. Like I say, just, you know, I am. You know, it's all about timing too. So as soon, you know, we can get this, you know, wrap up a good time and come up with some ideas. If it works and coincides with all of us, we're gonna run it. You know, we're going to run it. Right, no doubt. You know, so I think it's just a benefit to a lot of us. And then again, as I always kept saying, pay it forward. You guys learn it, you guys become good at it, you earn it, and then you go pay it forward. Now you got your family, your friends, excuse me, you know, whomever, you know, and that's what it should be about. You know, that's what it should be about. Just my, you know, my opinion. Right, that's just my opinion. So, but I'm there. You know, I'm there if I can help in any kind of way. I'm there. All right, no doubt. All right, so
thank you, brother. Thank you, Oba.
Always, we already know it. You guys know it. So, you know, with that being said, you know, here's another day for another $1, another goal, and then, you know, again, you know, we got Thursday. throw it forward Thursday, right? Or whatever name y'all want to, you know, add on to. Right?
I like that. I like it that throw it forward Thursday.
Yeah, you know, we definitely want to throw this thing forward, you know, and I hope it comes back. Obviously, boomerang, right? It's a good, what they call wealth generating boomerang, right? Throw that thing in.
Oh man, I mean, you are getting it. You are getting it. It's you know, it's full cycle with you.
You know, that's how I love it. You know, every day, you know, again, I know we bounce around a lot of different ideas. We got a lot of stuff going on around us a lot of times in our individual lives, or even as, you know, as a whole, as a group in some aspects. But y'all know, man, ain't no better scenario than waking up with an entrepreneur endeavor mindset to go out there and get you a bag, and you don't have to worry about dealing with people that can firewall you or stop you, you know, obscure you from, you know, for being able to get what's pretty much owed to you in a lot of ways, right? And I mean, it's across the board. So, you know, it's exciting, you know, and to me, it should, you know, it should ignite people. I don't, you know, it do for some and it may not do for others, but for me, it ignites me. So I wake up even more hungry. I wake up humble, number one, but I wake up hungry. I wake up with a fervent energy, say, hey, you know what, you know, how can I become better today at what I do? How can I help somebody? How can I learn from somebody? Right. And then go get after it, you know? So, you know, to me, like I said, it's a no-brainer. The more we discuss it, the more we go over it, the more it becomes like, this is like law. It's like a law to want to be successful, right? Especially in terms of the market. And, you know, some people don't have that urge, that mentality, kind of get defeated and they're like, no, I don't know. But, you know, over here, we're going to speak it. I'm just sorry, we're going to speak it. We're going to speak that old, you know, if, woulda, shoulda, coulda over here. We're going to say, yep, we're going to keep trying, we're going to keep pushing, we're going to make it happen, right? Because it matters.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. So, you know, again, it's a team-oriented effort. You know, again, teamwork makes the dream work. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard that slogan saying before plenty of time, and it's true. You know, again,
I'm gonna have a because you be having all the T-shirt slogans.
Yeah, you know, that's it. You know, because again, you know, we live this, you know, and we walk it in a way where we want to own it. So, and the more you speak it, you know, as they say, you speak it, you know, it cycles through. It cycles through your mentality. It cycles through your psychology. Right? It cycles through your cells, right? It's from a cellular level, right? You're igniting all this water, that whole memory. Right? I don't want to get too deep on y'all. You're like, what are you talking that old mumbo jumbo stuff? That namaste stuff. All right. But I mean, you guys. Yeah, that hotel stuff, right? You talking that hotel stuff, man. We don't do no hotel. Right. ERs on the back of that thing, hotelpers.
Oh my goodness.
So this is why
that's such a disgrace.
Yeah, you know, these people.
Peace, Mo and Camille. How y'all doing, sisters?
Peace and blessings, Chris. How are you?
I'm sleepy. Got off for a couple hours.
Hey, getting it in.
Chris will work. Hey, you be getting it in, buddy. Chris, everybody training.
Just, you know, making it happen. As they say, you sacrifice now so you can play and run hard later. You know, so these little stepping stones to get us to that next level. So, you know, again, we now, you know, a lot of us are obviously becoming more acclimated to, again, investing and trading on a more consistent level, meaning you're actually getting it a little bit, the nuts and bolts behind it. You know, what's next? You know, what's next at this point? You know, again, start pushing harder, start, you know, open up some more opportunity. Go look to fire your boss, as I always say, right? The goal is to fire your boss, right? Why wouldn't you want to, right? Live life on your terms, and then go out there and grow, right? And as I say, go pay it forward, you know, in that same boat once you kind of get it, you know. So, you know, that's all I want to, you know, be able to kind of do doing my part, I should say. And you know, at any moment, if there's levels I can improve, by all means, y'all guys let me know. I'm still new to this stuff, especially when it comes to this live stream stuff. But just as a whole, you know, through the training or whatever, you know, let's hammer this stuff. Let's you know, hammer it and become better at it. All right, so I'm excited. So just kind of open up my screen a little bit here, guys, so you guys can see what I got going on for the day in terms of my little trades. Obviously, I opened up a little late today. I had some things I was doing as always. You know, I had my little moment too in the morning, business and other stuff. But I did take a couple of trades earlier today too, as well as, you know, doing some other stuff. And right now they're doing pretty well. Obviously, have, you know, 2 ugly losses so far. Obviously, you know, I took the URI trade yesterday to earnings, and they end up obviously missing on their earnings, even though they actually beat. They beat on top and bottom, but the stock sold off. Let me correct. right? That happens too, correct? Sometimes people don't like the numbers, or they feel like the stock is just over, kind of overbought at this point anyway, and it's time, time to take some profit, right? So they'll kind of sell off that premium aspect, looking for the stock to kind of come back down for a discount price, so they buy back in a dollar cost average in, and then obviously hopefully the stock will kind of go back up. So that was definitely the case with URI. I don't know if you guys seen that chart today, but it's definitely pulled back pretty decently. And so I was having a loss on that one, roughly around there $600-700. And then I also had another loss in what was it? What was I had a loss in too? It was INCY. I'm trading now again actually, but I had a loss in this one as well. It spiked up. We had bad news, I think, on the failed drug or something, like the dose wasn't that good, and because of that, the stock sold off uglily. All right, very ugly. Matter of fact, let me see here if I can stretch it out here. You can probably see the chart on the day. It opened up, as you can see here, pre-market. It just dumped all the way from like 71 bucks all the way down to like 65 bucks. It dropped like $5 literally during the pre-market session, so to speak. All right, and then open up, and then it just started squeezing back up. It literally filled the gap back up. Right. So again, I tried to get in and short it. When I saw it broke that level of the VWAP, so to speak, and kind of squeezed up a little bit, I tried to take a position around like 69.39, and then it pulled back a little bit. Consolidate. I was going to do something. That thing just started squeezing, and I'm in the kitchen at that moment because I was like, oh, this thing's going to roll over. It's already down. I'm in there giving a little mango and blackberry and blueberry for breakfast. Came back, the thing was just squeezing up. I was like, oh man, what's this about? Right. So again, in that moment, boom, lost, ended up cutting losses, even though wasn't sure if it's gonna roll again. But how my mentality, if it against you at a certain point, it kind of pass your little threshold, go on, cut your little loss and get out of there. Right. So I ended up taking like a $400-some loss on that one. Obviously, that you see right now, I'm down $1,100. 400 obviously on the day, but then others from the swing trade yesterday. But again, as I always do, I will get me some get back. So I end up taking INCY short again up at the top. I mean, I caught it literally, like a surgeon, right up there at $70.13. I took another short on this stock because at that point I saw it filled the gap. Right, the stock wasn't down for no reason; it was down for a reason, basically. So I said, you know what, I think it's going to roll at some point. So it has to roll back over because no stock goes back, up this hard, this high, in such a V-shaped reversal without having to kind of roll back over and correct itself, so to speak. Right, so I took it short again at $70.13. And right now I'm up 1,080 on this stock right now. So I got that back and a little extra, right? All right. So that also helps pad that other one too, in terms of URI. Again, you guys know I also took PIR, Pure One, right? Some of you guys still shopping at Pure Imports. They're actually in a lot of trouble lately, all right? They've been having a very, very bad, I should say downtrend. It's well over the past year. The stores are kind of becoming more obsolete. People not necessarily shopping there as much as used to. So the comp sales are going down. The stock has a very dismal outlook because they can't necessarily compete with the Amazons and the bigger furniture stores that are out there. Even though Pure One is a major brand name, but they can't seem to kind of keep themselves as a growth stock, so to speak, and kind of keep reinventing themselves to compete. And so this has been getting beat up. So again, we took that yesterday going into earnings at $3.48. I took like a couple thousand shares short in it at that time. Obviously, the thing dropped. When the earnings numbers dropped, it dropped right on with it. So we up on that stock now, roughly about near $1,100. It was up as much as like 14 at one point, as you can see here on the chart here when it kind of pulled back into 269. And then it had some little people that come in and try to buy here. This is a volume spike. People trying to think they can scalp it at this point, kind of get some pennies out of it. But the stock is definitely beat up on the day. And right now, again, it's paying out pretty nicely here. Also took Philip Morris, right? The whole cigarette company, right? They're under fire right now. Again, they stay under fire, which they should anyway. Right. So anybody smoking cigarettes, nothing against you, but y'all already know they got what they call a nail in the coffin. You smoking cigarettes, like nailing your own coffin shut. All right. But either way, I took that short as well. So up on that asset right now, a couple $100. Also have a little bit of HNMY. They had an offering today, or excuse me, yesterday, stock offering, and end up shorting that as well. So up $100, somewhere in that. And then I also have a little bit of Tesla still left from the other day, and also have a little bit of Roku left from the other day. Right, so that's just where my trades are. So I just want to get that out and get that out of the way. All right, so we can get back to parlaying and speaking and engaging each other. All right, well, that's what I have now. So, hey, thank you for stopping by over there, David. I see you, family. Thank you. Thank you, over Derek, as well. Thank you, fam, for stopping by, guys. Honored, as always. So, again, going over some trades, doing our little usual little walkthrough, even though I know it's a midday session here. But again, these are moments where you can come to, hang out, enjoy, your brethren, and our fight and our quest to kind of get us a bag every day in the stock market, and have fun doing it, so to speak. So again, I know some of you guys are still in the learning and training phase, but again, any moment you can get exposed to this market and see things for what they are, ask some questions, please do so. That was my whole vision by starting this kind of live hangout thing throughout the day, so we can kind of come together and share some ideas, look over some charts, look over some data, go over some terminology if necessary, and see what we can do, in terms of helping each other be profitable, right? So again, that's just my mentality behind it. So, but I also will throw this out there too. I am waiting on GWPH to kind of open up. I'm pretty sure you guys saw that I posted news on that earlier this AM for a lot of the Discord room people that's in here. Also, I think I may have dropped some of it on Twitter and then the Facebook Messenger group. All right, this company is a medical marijuana company, right? Y'all know tomorrow is 420, right? The whole thing about everybody go smoke their little whatever and do their little marijuana tomorrow anyway. But beyond that, it's beautiful that they had this news literally going into 420, right? Where they actually had a drug for it's an epilepsy seizure drug. Right, obviously dealing with hemp cannabis, y'all know it's phenomenal when it comes to dealing with people that have epileptic seizures, pseudo seizures, sleep apnea, you name it, right? Because obviously, I'm in the naturopath field as well, so you guys know I also deal in that field when it comes to the CBD oil and helping people obviously get a little healthy with that. All the benefits that it does for your body anyway. Obviously, it kills kind of precancerous cells. It just helps with the body overall. It's super healthy, no matter how people always try to demonize and then this whole thing with Jeff Sessions. Y'all get it. All right, so in a nutshell, they halted this stock this morning at 8 a.m. right? And they had an FDA panel vote that they were looking to kind of get this drug approved. So from 8 to 12, I think they said 12:30 somewhere around there, 1 o'clock, they was going through this whole process of presenting their drug case to the FDA, so they can kind of get that nod or that okay to kind of put this drug obviously into fruition, be it through more testing or just kind of put on the market. I don't know the whole aspect, but I'm watching it. So I'm waiting right now for the stock to open up. The stock was trading at $133, obviously coming until this whole this halt. And then when the news came out that they was going to have that vote today, the stock instantly squeezed up to 139. It just gapped up to 139. Right. So short sellers that was sitting in the stock, they ran for the hills. They took care of it. They got up out of there. Right. So right now the stock is obviously going through what they call a price adjustment on the bid and the ask, kind of like what the IPO does when it comes out. And they're trying to figure out what price they're going to open this thing up at. Right. So again, it was trading at 133. I'm seeing 180 on the bid. I'm seeing some crazy numbers. I don't think it's going to go that high, but they're trying to get that price adjusted. But I am going to take this trade once this thing opens back up, because again, this is powerful news. They actually did get the vote from the FDA to approve their drug, their epilepsy drug. Right. It was a 13-0 GWPH. It was a unanimous decision. Right. Everybody voted yes. Everybody voted yes for the stock. I put it in the batch. It's actually in my description box too, guys. And if you guys want to check out my description box, you can kind of see it and see a little bit of the information on it. But if not, you can go do your quick little due diligence on it. Go read up on it. But GWPH, I was playing GWH a little bit of like last year. Again, I was playing a lot of different little marijuana stocks back then. But with that being said, being that 420 is tomorrow, when a lot of people are going to be out there, advocating for marijuana, hemp, and all these different things, there are some marijuana stocks that you may want to kind of watch. The CRON is one, Chrome is one, and these are just Nasdaq based ones too. These are ones that you can trade actually through Nasdaq or NYSE. They're not just OTC, which is it's a ton of them on the OTC market. Y'all know I've been trading a lot of those things like crazy. Last year I was all over them thoughts, but here's some of the ones that are actually traded on the the Nasdaq, so to speak, or the bigger exchanges. So you got Chrome, you got MJX, you got AUPH. I don't know where it's at today in terms of its movement, but these are just some. And there's some others too. Even NC. NC also Insight, which is one trade right now, they actually deal somewhat in the marijuana space a little bit too as well. But right now, again, they're getting beat up because they had a bad, some bad news with one of their drugs. So because of that, that stock is getting punished right now a little bit. rightfully so, because it burnt me earlier for like 400 bucks. So I'm getting it back in a little extra. As you see now, it's actually starting to roll over. So it's actually coming down further, right? It hit a low today of 65 bucks. So who knows? If we can get this thing back down to those 67 and this thing can roll, we might get this might be another home run trade today. Again, watching the SPY here, the SPY's down on the day. Definitely below yesterday's close of 270.39, which we see weakness in the market. Anytime you see the SPY drifting in a chart pattern like this here on the daily, that's a bad sign, right? You don't have that kind of spike up like you were seeing yesterday a little bit when the market was just kind of, popping up above the high, pulling back, and back and forth. Now you just see like a nice little trend, to the downside, a beautiful bear flag value to the downside. Not a lot of resistance. People buying the market in a way where it shows you that kind of, attempt to want to be bullish, right? But the market was up like 2 or 3 days in a row. So, I mean, come on, it's time for it to come up for air a little bit too. So again, that's just a pattern value when you're watching the market and how to assess it, right? Always keep your eye on the SPY, as I always say, in the Qs, right? Y'all know that's my kind of those are my litmus tests. I watch those to kind of see the overall, sentiment of the market. There's other things too, but I always keep my eye on the SPY and the Qs, right? QQQ, and the financial values in that regard. All right. So with that being said, again, we got some trades going. I'm just waiting on this stock to open up here at GWPH at some point. I don't know. They said it's going to be done, open up by 12, somewhere between 12, and it's still halted. So I'm thinking at this point now they're trying to what they do, probably signing the paperwork, going through all this stuff. They're trying to get the price adjusted. What they're going to do probably when they open the thing up. But again, it squeezed up literally about $7 in the AM, before they went into the halt. With short sellers getting up out of it because they figure like, they didn't want to trust this news, right? Some people like, well, it's probably gonna get voted down, whatever. But apparently, right, that didn't it wasn't the case. So they got it was a 13-0 vote, right? They all approved it. Like everybody on the FDA panel approved this drug, right? So real quick, as a matter of fact, I may come right over here to show you a little quick little screenshot of the news value. You can see it yourself here. All right, so. All right, but this is just the news value of it. I need to go find the actual news that's after since they voted. But again, GW Pharmaceuticals or whatever the case, shares halted pending news. That was early this AM. They halted it at 8 o'clock and saying they would not trade the stock until they finished this whole FDA vote thing. And it was a unanimous decision, right? They voted in favor of this drug. All right, it's kind of been all basically Diol based whatever oral solution for treatment of 2 rare forms of epilepsy. Right, epilepsy is a serious thing. Some of you guys may have people in your family may deal with that at some point, or whatever the case, or have cases of that. And we know that medical marijuana or whatever you're using to kind of treat that, hemp is definitely one of the best treatment solutions out there for that. And it's natural, right? Not all these old chemicals you can't even pronounce. It's a very natural plant value that can really that what it does for the body as a whole. I could go into depth, but I just keep it basic, right? It really helps the body. All right, and also sleep apnea and the whole things I was speaking about that. All right, so but whatever. All right, so that's GPW, right? So we got our eyes on that. I'm just waiting for that to open up, and we'll see what comes from that trade. Because I will be looking to take that trade. I may scalp it, whatever the case, but I will look to take this trade because I think people are gonna, they're gonna get excited about it. They're gonna want to trade it. Actually, if you go over here to the actual stock twitch, obviously, it's not the best for primary source, but you can see the sentiment of some of the investors, how excited they are to potentially want to trade this stock in the event that it opens up. So you're seeing a lot of people writing on this board, right, and this message boards, they're getting excited. So they're saying 15 minutes before they open up. So I guess they're gonna open up at 1:15. All right, so they open the stock up at 1:15. All right, so we'll see. All right, we'll see. And then if there's any stocks that also trade under this same kind of sector that's dealing with epilepsy seizure or just cannabis-based drugs like that, watch for some of those stocks to pop as well, right? Because y'all know how some of these stocks run in unison or parallel to other stocks in the sector when they get good news, right? Same way we saw with Netflix, and then we saw Roku spiking up and some of these other little internet movie streaming based companies spiking up, whatever. Right? It may be short-lived for them, but it still may offer you a good opportunity to scalp. So you're seeing someone saying ZYNE, obviously that's a stock that trades within the same sector. It's a competitor. So we'll see what happens to this stock, as well. Keep an eye on that. And again, everybody's kind of sitting back waiting, right? Again, a dollar, it's going $132 stock, and then it squeezed up to like 139 before they halted it. So we don't know where it's going to go when they open this thing back up with this good news, right? With this FDA somewhat, panel approval for its drug. I think it's called Epidiolex, right? The name of the drug, whatever. All right, so again, we're just waiting to see what's going on. So they're saying, yeah, so they're saying at 115, 115, they're going to open it up. At 115, it resumes trading at 115. GWPH here, as you can see here. All right, so we'll be ready to rock and roll. We'll see if we can get some out of that as well. All right, that's just me. Obviously, I'm not advocating you guys do or you don't, but that's just where I'm at because I've been up studying and watching it. I know the stock from last year. I've traded it several times. I am an advocate of the medical hemp industry or the marijuana industry, whatever you want to call it. But that's just me, right? As Cat Williams say, that's just where I get my hair done at, right? All right, so we will be watching it, right? All right, so people, like I said, they all excited on these message boards. Probably go over to Twitter. They're probably doing the same thing. People, saying, they're probably going to trade it and all this and whatever. All right, so people getting their little, the options, they're playing in the option field too, option chain as well. All right, so again, great information. They had a 13-to-1, actually, and it's weird too, because I think this is the first one, if I'm not mistaken, this is the FDA first cannabis drug that they kind of ever approved. I could be wrong, but I think this is the first one that actually got approved. We're not saying companies that able to be traded and they're producing a product they get approval, but I think this is the first one in America, if I'm not mistaken, because I'm thinking GPWH is, I think the American based, right? Because I know a lot of these companies out of Canada, like Aurora Pharmaceuticals, they're out of Canada and a few others. But either way, whatever. All right, so if that's the case, that's even going to make it more of an ideal scenario for people to want to invest in this this stock or trade it. So again, so I'll move on. I want to get harp on and be like, okay, yeah. All right, so but that's where that stock is at, and I will be again looking to take a trade on it. If and when it opens up. All right, so but that's where I'm at again so far on the day myself. You see the SPY again breaking down as I said earlier, so eloquently, this thing is definitely going to drift down and fade down like a Tokyo drift. And again, just watching PRR over here is kind of spiking up a little bit, got back above VWAP. So, if it kind of moves, so much like it want to kind of get some new air beneath its wings, I will cover off this short and get up out of there. It served its purpose at this point. I did phenomenal off the trade in terms of a swing at this point. Stock being up near $1,200. Excuse me, $1,300. That's the one for $1,300. This is the INCY trade that we took today, which is a winner at this point. So, all right. So you got straight trades that you got going on right now. Definitely post them. If you guys got questions on the panels you want to talk about in terms of trading, terminology, patterns, anything you have in mind, we're gonna use this as a moment just to do all that and then some. All right. So I see my brother Brent. You say what? Food? Yeah. No, I didn't buy it. But it's I know it's tearing it up, man. I know you probably still feeding off that stock. I'll take a quick look at it. Go ahead, guys, on the panel. I heard somebody.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm in Roku.
You took Roku? Okay. You scalping it? What's your position? What's your angle in it? What you looking to get out of?
I've been in since 32, and I wrote it up, and I'm looking maybe 33.50. And then I'll probably get out. But I mean, if it keeps, it's kind of like in the channel now. That's why I think it's going to go higher, because it's been at like 33.05 and it's kind of, channeling between 33.05 and 33.16. And the next level of resistance is like 33.22. So I think if it breaks that, it could go a little higher. It's kind of been channeling in that trend there. So that's kind of my plan.
Okay.
Though I'm up a buck. So
great trade too by taking it at that level. The inch back. So obviously, I'm still short. I have a little bit left in the short. I tore it up the other day. So
yeah, the morning short was incredible.
Yeah, I have a little bit left because I'm short from a lot higher price at this point. It was just like I just leave a little bit in at this point. So I took a little, I have like this is it right here. I'm up like $76 left in it. So again, so no big deal. Not a lot of big share size. Like I think 100 shares left in it. Right. So, but again, that's the old Roku. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, just watch it at this point because the SPY is down trending at this point, but it showed some good resilience here. I mean, look at it. Bounce off VWAP twice. You got a double bottom here, and it got back up to that that high in terms of this little so-called I guess you want to call it a cup and handle, like a broken cup handle. Right, but it's a nice little broken, cup and handle kind of scenario, so to speak. And it can potentially kind of, feel the spot here and kind of push a little higher. Obviously, you got some level of resistance, like you said. I'm pretty sure you charted it already at the very top near 33, 30, you know, then some a little bit around the 33, 20, 25, whatever the case. But it's holding its own. It's holding its own right here in a downtrending market. I mean, you see the SPY here is showing you like, hey, it's, you know, it's like we trying to get up out of here.
Yeah, that's why I'm planning on getting out, because the market is like, you know, everything is pulling.
Yeah, it's holding though. It's holding its own. So like I said, I'm with you. You know, at this point, you know, in terms of your goal that you're looking to get out of it right now, it's working in your favor. It's definitely working in your favor. You know, signs of kind of really having a panic. You know, you have some ugly drops like this here, but that's typical Roku. Roku does that. You know, it'll roll over and just drop, but it shows resistance. You know, it's getting resilience when it bounced off the VWAP here, right? It kind of, you know, shot back up a little bit. Just keep your eye on here, because it's about to be, you know, they call, you know, you will die for it in a moment. Especially because the SPY looking like it's ready to dump in a minute here. We're talking about it. Here we go. I'm sitting there talking about it, and here it is a little bit. It's starting to pull a little bit. It ain't dump, but it's showing that weakness.
Yes, it's making Roku show it too.
Yeah, see what I'm saying. So, you know, it ain't expecting Tesla ragging behind. You know, I'm still short Tesla ratchet self. But I took a little bit, assessed in terms of Tesla here. We'll see what it does here at this point. But I mean, again, watch the SPY here, guys. If you guys have got any big positions out there. All right, so I see Sister Maria. You say Twitter was a great short this AM. Yeah, Twitter. I didn't get a chance to look at Twitter today too, but I know the likes of like Snapchat. Some of those people were talking about some of those trades today. I can run over to the chart real quick and see where it's at. Beyond that, again, this, you know, your chart looks great, Brent. You already know it, man. This stock is been on a tear in terms of Fuse here, in Fuse. If you guys look at this chart here, literally, you know, the last 4 or 5 days here, it's on a tear. Again, not, you know, we talking about, you know, big, you know, dollar point moves like that, but again, if you long this stock for whatever value that you like in it, this is a beautiful trade. I mean, a beautiful chart, especially you bought this bottom when it pulled back off this bottom here. You bought this bottom at near like $1.39, $1.40. You know, look where you're at now. You know, you definitely got over $1 now, definitely. You know, if you caught that part of the sell-off, and it's still holding its own. You know, every day it's pushing higher. You know, just yesterday it went a little sideways a little bit, you know, gained a tad. But today, you know, momentum came back in, and look at the volume, right? So if you look at the pattern here on this particular stock here, a lot of the volume as of late, they coming in early in the AM. Early in the AM, you get that volume spike. You see it here a little bit. Well, you know, even though it went sideways yesterday, but today, same thing. They came in early AM, pushed the stock up a little higher here, and now it's holding, right? No one's really selling. They're holding their share position value to kind of keep the stock lifted up, right? And short sellers are pretty much just, you know, they don't have any, you know, any kind of room to do anything major at this point. They're selling for pennies if anything. They're trying to short the stock, right? But again, it looks very nice here over the past 4 or 5 days. I mean, beautiful chart. So, like I said, a point that they didn't put up over a little bit over point at this point in terms of value or profit. It's a great trade in that. So again, let's run over here and check out Twitter real quick here. Twitter world, right? Twitterverse, right? We know Trump. He is the biggest Twitter banging person on the planet, right? Never seen a man be on Twitter more than he probably spend time with his family, right? He loved being on Twitter. All right, so yeah, Twitter, beautiful short. I mean, again, same way. Y'all know this pattern ever so often. Now, like y'all know this pattern. Spike up early in the AM, right? Hit a little point, a crest, right? A point of resistance. That's where you take your short, right? You took that short there literally about 10 o'clock, right? Wait for that, 9:50 to 10 o'clock pullback, right? Either you're going up or down. It still works in any kind of value of that strategy, so to speak. It works for me. And then you look at maximize on that. So right between 9:50 and 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock right on the dot. If you look here on the screen, that's when it start selling off. That's when they open up that short opportunity. So beautiful short here, beautiful short. I mean, no resistance really on the way down too. That's what I love about this. That's a beautiful. I mean, this on the 5-minute chart, of course, but it still looks nice because you got nice big red candles that dwarf these green small moments of probably short covering of just people trying to trying to sneak them a little scalp buy in. So it just overran them, overpowered them, and pushed down here to like $30 and near 90-something cents, 96 cents. So basically, roughly about close to near close about near 2 points, in terms of picking up in profit value. A little bit over 2 points, excuse me. No, this is 39.6. Yeah, my bad. And almost in profit. So, great trade, Maria. If you caught this here, I don't know if you took it or not, but great trade, right? Very good trade here to the downside and short. or if you had puts in it, if you guys just trading the option market. All right, so but that's Twitter. So you guys, again, you got trades that you got, you guys probably trade and looking at. Definitely let me know. As I'm sitting here watching, getting ready to watch this GWPH open up here. Now they open up the bid in the spread, or the bid in the ads is up now on level 2. Right, so I'm seeing some crazy numbers. I'm saying 180 and 177. Keep in mind, this stock was trading at 132 this AM. So they're talking about dang near, $40 $50 probably gap up here. But I think it's going to adjust and kind of level down before it's over with. But they're talking about a $40 $50 gap up here on this news, right? And people obviously waiting to kind of trade it as well. So I don't know where it's going to go from this point. It may just kind of hit a point where it jumps up so high, people, get excited. It's not what they sell off, right? I'm talking about people that's already been in it, that's from been in from like $80 and $90 and all that. They probably gonna start taking some profit possibly with such a gap up like that. So right now they're adjusting the price on the level 2. I'm seeing crazy numbers like 250, 180. Although I know they're not gonna open this thing about no 250. I've seen weird things, but I don't think they're gonna go that far. But they're trying to get that price adjusted to open it up for the retail traders to take this stock here. All right, so I'm sitting there just watching it, and we'll see what comes from that in that regard. Let me close this old chat box, and we can see the entire screen. Right, but that's that. So any other trades you guys got going on real quick, let me know. Before I get ready to go over here and set myself up for either success or failure on this GWPH, and we'll see what comes from that. Again, you guys pretty much know the trades I have going on right now. Everything's kind of still in harmony, so to speak. Again, still have PIR, peer imports. Again, watching this here because the SPY is still drifting. See how the SPY is still drifting here? So, at any point, I think Pier 1 may come back and test the VWAP. If it sits like in this channel here and holds here, then I just gonna, take this off the table here. I'm gonna take this a little bit off the table here because that's what we took it for the swing. We took it for a swing trade. It paid off beautifully, and there's no need kind of seeing because I was thinking maybe to get down to 250s possibly. It hit 260 something, but I was like, maybe we can get this thing down to 250s. I saw some other short sellers saying that was a good target they want to get out of it, but again, it doesn't always go your way sometimes. So you got to take what it gives you. All right, so I'm excited about that trade either way. All right, it was a big, nice mover, a big winner. All right, and the SPY again is slowly but surely trickling down. I like that when it does it this way, because it's not like a lot of erratic movement. It's just slowly giving back some of those values and gains that it picked up over the last few days, and some of the other stocks that you guys may be, and you have to deal with so much of that whipsaw action. Like if the SPY just dumps, then your stock just dumps all of a sudden with it, like you see here on Roku. At least it gives you some kind of indication that you can get in or out, in the event that something like that happens, right? You don't have any kind of flash crashing, so to speak. Right? The bottom ain't falling out the stock, right? So again, here we go. Okay, GWPH, just open up. Okay, just open up. 138. So real quick, let me get over here real quick. So I'm sitting there running my mouth. See, y'all got me in trouble, man. See, y'all got me in trouble. See, it's y'all fault. It's y'all fault. Y'all fault. All right. So, and it's moving a little bit here. It's moving a little bit here. All right. So let me see. I'm gonna see if it's gonna bottom a little bit here, and let me see if it's gonna turn. All right, because I see buyers are coming in a little bit. And it, like I say, it's trying to. All right, so let's see here. Let's go to work. Let's go to work. Let's see if we can do something with this here. It may be worth it, or may not. Who knows? But either way, we're excited. What it has done. In terms of them getting that FDA kind of nod or go ahead. And so I'm excited to see this stock in a position where it could offer up some investors a nice little trade. It could offer up a nice little trade. All right, so right now it's at 137. All right, certain levels here. I'm just trying to see, the level of support and resistance levels, so to speak, let it kind of get underway a little bit here. So as of now, maybe like 136 probably be a good little small entry just to test it, possibly. Down to 134 now. Okay, now we go. Here we go. Let me see if it bounced somewhere around here. Just watching it. I see some more sell side volume coming in. They're selling off a little bit here, which is natural. And stock opened up, went to 143. I need to settle down. And the spread is all over the place. This one you got to be careful because the spread is so all over the place. You're talking about big chunks of spread here and there, 70, 80 cents in the spread. All right, that's kind of crazy. You don't want to jump out there too soon in a scenario like that. When that spread is all over the place like that, you want it to narrow down just a little bit. If nothing else, let it narrow down. Let it narrow down a little bit. Then you pull your trigger, so to speak. All right, so right now it's tightening down just a little bit. I need this ass to move one increment, a little small increment down. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. It's showing. There it goes, tightening down now a little bit. All right, it's tightening down a little bit here. A little bit it is, a little bit. All right, so we'll see here. All right, let's see where we are. All right, 50. Okay. Okay. So yeah, showing a little level of support here, a little bit. It's gotta be careful though. Gotta be careful because again, the stock opened up with so much momentum. Y'all saw it was all over the place. You just don't know. It could easily pull back and reverse on you, so to speak. So I want to see it kind of show some legs here. If you guys are following, watching the stock as well, I'm trying to see if it can grow some legs and make a move here. And we might get some out of this trade here, be it ever so slightly, but we'll see here. We'll see. All right, so we got I took 100 shares. I'm actually in the trade. I took it at 135.50. Right, I took it at 135.50, 100 shares. And we're looking for the scalp right now. I'm up $70. I'm just watching here because I would do like a stop loss, but I do more of a hard loss here, hard stop loss. All right, so that I can kind of monitor if I have to pull the trigger and get up out of there. At least I get out with some profit. Right, but you guys just, this is me taking like a little momentum trade, so to speak. But I do like the value for it to bounce and see if we can get some action going here. But I am watching it closely because it can easily turn. It can easily turn, right? Turn and burn. Right, because again, people still trying to figure out what they want to do, how they want to trade it. So again, you just got to be careful. So, and I'm liking it for the aspect that it can get a little push, possibly get above, 136. Excuse me, 137, possibly, whatever, 138 level, possibly. Right. So, but I am watching it here off these little small bounces because it's in a very, very low, shaky little little channel here. Right. But it's doing okay so far. It's doing okay so far. All right. It's doing okay so far. All right. And sometimes you got to coach a little stock, like, let's go, baby. Like, be like Mayor Barack. Let's go, baby. You know what I'm talking about, Camille? Mayor, let's go, baby. You be getting excited about them little stock. I'm trying to coach it. So, all right, let me actually pull up on this chart. We'll pull the chart up too.
Yeah, right. Talking to the stock, trying to talk it up.
Yeah, you got to coach these stocks. Y'all know this, like some of you guys investing in trading. Y'all know exactly what it's like. You got to talk to that thing a little bit. Like, hey, bro, I need you to figure out.
That's that talking ship.
yeah, the talking ship. Right? You bring that scholarship, or you gonna bring that hollership, or you gonna bring that talking ship? Which one is it? All right, so if we can get above 138 here, guys, I'm gonna add to my trade here at 138. Right, but I have to see if we can get up there first. Again, let's fight a little bit here. Again, the stock just opened up. A lot of traders just started getting wind to this news, so they're trying to sit back saying how they're going to digest this here. So they're trying to kind of figure out, is it worthy, is it whatever. But if we can get up there to this 138 level, I would definitely add to this trade. As another little boost of a level of resistance there at that 138 mark. You see, we can push the thing a little higher, possibly we can go test 139, 140. It did squeeze up and go to 143. When it opened it up. So that's a level of potentiality, so to speak, that's in the asset still that maybe can get. So right now up $123 on this trade right now. Again, caught that bottom just like nice. Y'all know me, I'm bottom fisher for a reason. Right? Don't call me the bottom fish. I catch them bottoms now. All right, so I caught that bottom pretty well, but right now again it's pulling back, which is natural. People still trying to figure out how they want to trade this thing. But I am watching it closer here. So if I have to get out, I cut out, get out of here quickly. But I do think, with the extent of the news, so to speak, you may get a few investors come into this thing and want to see if they can try to push it a little bit. But you know, it is to be determined. It is to be determined here. It's still on shaky grounds here. It's on shaky ground. It's on shaky grounds here. I'll be back down to my levels here. It's on shaky grounds here. So if it goes against me here, I'm out. You know, with a small loss of anything, no more than, you know, no more than like $50. I'll be getting up out of here. So let's see here. Let's see here. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. All right, so yeah. Well, I guess I could share my screen while I'm trading it, I guess. 1 second. Let me set me a limit by. Okay, I do no, because then I won't have to hard out in the event it rolls back. All right, so let me do it this way. Do it this way. All right, 1 second, guys. Just watching it here real quick here. I'm gonna open up my screen here in a second. Yeah, but you know, as we keep talking about this, is these little moments I'm talking about. You know, you come in and make you a quick little bag, you'll be in, and you could be out. You know, you don't have to be around the market all day long. You know, you had a little, you know, you need a little bill you got to pay. You know, $60, $100 bill, and you know how to access the market. You know, correctly. You know, this is what we talk about. You know, be it like a quick little momentum moment, or you just trying to sit in for a little minute. You know, easily could have sold above the $150 profit value in the stock. You know, but I got a goal in it that I want to kind of see if we can get that 138 level. But I could have in and out, you know what I'm saying? In and out, took my little bit off the table and moved on. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's what I love about the opportunity and being able to use and access the market to kind of do just that. You know, so again, you know, it's exciting in that understanding that in a given moment you can do something like that. So just watching it here again, it's, you know, it's trying to find a level of stability here. It's all over the place a little bit in a good way, obviously, because the spread is all over the place. But I do believe as the spread tightens up a little bit, we may get some value in it. We'll see. But right now, it's showing, you know, showing some weakness. It's definitely showing some weakness here on the back end a little bit. Either it's gonna work out, or it's gonna roll out. One or the other. One or the other. So yeah, so now we back down to my levels here. I was down a little bit here. All right, let's see if it bounces here. If it don't bounce here, I'm gonna get out. You gonna bounce, or either you're gonna bounce or I'm gonna bounce. Stop. Which is it? All right, so it's breaking a little bit here. Yeah, it's breaking. It's breaking this level here. Give it 2 seconds here. I say I do 70 or $80. Yeah, I'm breaking. I'm out. Yeah, and it broke. So people saw opportunity to short here. So again, I'll watch it again and see what it does. Right, it broke pretty heavily too now. Right, so I'll watch it, and that's exactly what I just explained earlier. Some people be sitting there like, man, I want to take some profit. Right, these people that have been sitting in this stock for a long time too, regardless of that news, they're like, nah. Right, so again, we were up, you know, 150, but I had a goal in mind and hit my goal, could have partial, and I ended up taking a loss in it, you know, roughly about 80 something bucks. So again, but that's the value of, you know, we can play with it a little bit here. Right, so if it doesn't bounce again, I may, you know, try to get back in again, try it again. If not, then I'll just be done with it. But the news value of it, you know, once it probably sets in, you may get some investors coming into this asset that may want to trade it, right? That may want to trade it. So I'm just watching here to see if it's going to bounce. Again, if it doesn't, then, you know, we'll roll up out of it. Ideal of trading it, because I'm already out of it now, but it's showing mad weakness here at this point here. But it's sitting right at the top of the linear regression band too. I mean, the lines from the linear regression band line value, the middle lines, I should say. But if it breaks, see if it breaks that, or if it bounces here. H and M Y. of can it up too. Where's the market? Okay, the market ain't doing nothing crazy. All right, just watching here. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Where am I? Okay, yeah. Let's see, H&MI over here squeezing up a little bit. So I have a small scalp on that one too. I'm watching it though. Let's see what it's gonna be. 37, yeah. All right, come on, bounce, GWPH. Let's see if you got something in you. And then somebody might not want to smoke none of that stuff today. They don't want to smoke some of that stuff. Go on and bounce for me. Go on and bounce. Come on, bounce. Come on and bounce. All right. Oh, let me see what I have. I see why. Okay. And then you have a few of them just spike back up a little bit. And the Dow, I said not the Dow, well, the Dow too. The Dow and the SPY still once again downtrending. The Q's down obviously 1.9, 3%. Obviously the SPY is down 2.51%. And the market is kind of what sideways value and trending down. I mean lower. So it's not necessarily a lot of buy-in coming into the market overall. So it's unfortunate for a lot of cases. And even in this stock here, GWPH, right? Then the market down on the day. It doesn't, investors not feeling good about that. They're not feeling, comfortable, buying in these conditions, so to speak. All right. So because of that, again, the stock is just trying to figure out, what it want to do here. And it may just bottom out and just kind of, just like, nah, I don't want to do nothing today. I don't want to play today. And then, may have some instance where tomorrow, it'll wake up with some thunder, and probably do something, possibly. It's always if, woulda, shoulda, coulda, and all that too. So you don't know, but I do like the spread. The spread is, it's starting to tighten down a little bit, like I was saying earlier. It is starting to, before it was just all over the place. I mean, you had like 70-something cent spread value. Thing was just crazy. 70, 80 cent swing values in the spread. So now we have it down close to near 30 cents. So we shall see here. We shall see. So again, just watching some of these stocks. I see, okay, Tesla rolling back over a little bit. Roku, watch it. Keep your eye on Roku. I'm sure you are, Evil Camille. It's starting to roll a little bit, just a little bit. Again, that's the SPY. The SPY, pulling on it a little bit. With some of these stocks, again, they're trying to whatever little profit value they got on the day, the market is definitely being affected. The SPY itself is affecting them because it's kind of trending downward. For others, some stocks are just kind of spiking up a little bit too. So just keep your eye on them. Keep your eye on them. All right, so let's see here. So, yeah, spread is tightening down a little bit more. Let's see. All right, let's see here. Where are we on? H&MY. I think it's not gonna roll back over before it's over a little bit, if nothing else. So I'm gonna keep that one in play. We have a little bit of we're gonna get a little bit of Roku left. It's starting to pull back down a little bit here. All right, so you have a little action, a little bounce action here on GWPH off this 134 level, which I was looking to seize the opportunity on that move real quick here. All right, so we also have, okay. Here. Where am I? I'm not. Yep. All right, so there. Keep my eye on it right here. Keep my eye on it right here. Giving this little moment of silence, right? You know, you got to be a sniper mode, right? You're trying to get it in. You got to be locked in a little bit. So we good there. All right. All right. So H&M squeezing right now. Let's move on that on the reversal. Right, come on, GWPH, you can do it. You can do it, like Bobby Boucher, sir. You can do it. All right, so all right, let's see. Let's see. All right, so as of now, we're doing okay for now. All right, so if we can get back to the VWAP line here, all right, we may get some action here. So, I'm back up on it now. I took the 134. I think I said that. I took that the 134. Well, actually 134.30. I got filled at. So I got that back that I lost earlier at this point. All right, and I'm not gonna lose twice. Y'all already know that. I ain't finna act like y'all don't trade that crazy. So we'll see here if we can break the VWAP line here and push. I just need that spread to tighten down a little bit. And spread, you know, a little bit, you know, gotten better a little bit here on the spread. So we'll see here what comes from this here. So again, if it breaks this 136 level, 136 is the 136.25, 136.40, excuse me, 44 is the VWAP. So I'll say 136.50 just to be whatever, half dollar mark. We'll see here. Come on, buyers. I know y'all there. Tomorrow about to be 420. Y'all want to get excited. You're gonna be, you know, doing all your little medicinals and herbals and your little brownies and gummy bear, all that stuff they got there. All that little mess, whatever. Come on, you can do it. Come on, GW. Come on, GW, you can do it. Let me see you get above that level there. Get above it there so I can add to you. Come on, you can do it. So up 166 on the stock now. Again, I lost 70 on it earlier. There's I think 70 or 80 bucks. Now we up at near 200 now. Right, so definitely got that back, doubled up on it. Now we're just waiting to pull the trigger if we have to get up out of here, any odd reason. But as of now, the stock is, it's going in our favor. Again, just needed for it to consolidate and spread tighten down a little bit. And now you got like a little small little stair step incline on the asset at this point here. So watch me here. Again, if it breaks the level of the or gets back to the level of the VWAP with strength, that 136, 50 level, I will add to the trade. 1 second, guys. May pull here. I'll keep my eye on here. I will lock in this time. We won't get me twice. Spotty little orders coming through on level 2. It's very spotty. You know, you got some people buying, 100 share lots, 200 here or there. I mean, it's $100 stock, so $135 stock. So people ain't just going completely ballistic at this point. They're trying to wait to see if there's some strength. If they're going to add any kind of major share size to it, I'm guessing. That's basically what I would do. Basically what I would do, but. So what I'll do, and it's weird too, because again, the stock was halted all day. So all the little, energy and momentum in the market, it's kind of like, man, it killed the party, so to speak. So, I mean, the people that's buying this now, the strictly people that knew that this thing was, was getting ready to be unhalted. So you don't have like people just coming into the market like, oh, GWPH on the scanner today, right? Besides just going off and saying it was unhalted, but it was like, yeah, man, they already in other trades now. They already got capital tied up in other trades at this point. So they're not sitting around waiting just to trade this one alone. So, all right, so I'll watch it here. All right, so yeah, let me I'll share my screen real quick here. Sorry. So we got 120 shares at 134.37. It's my entry. I was trying to get filled at 134 even, but that didn't work out. That didn't work out for that trade. Come on, trade. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. All right, I need to be showing y'all this, right? Because I was like, well, dude, show me. Especially we got some of the training folks in the house too. One second. All right, hold up, where is this thing? All right, yeah. All right, so okay, so again, right now it's slowly inching up. It's slowly inching up here. Again, if it get to the VWAP, I'm looking at it on Thinkorswim level 2, because I know right here it's showing that it's up near the level 2 here on this TradeNet scenario here. It's COMEX, whatever. And then look at the SPY. Look at the SPY. The SPY just kind of V-shaped reversed a little bit. Not even call it V-shaped reverse. It's just kind of parabolic value straight up to the upside. All right. And right now that stock, that stock or that asset value in the SPY and all those different assets wrapped in it, you have like a little jolt of energy came into the market here. And some people bought the SPY up here. I don't know if some shorts just covered down at the bottom. That's probably what happened too. A lot of people covered their puts or their outright short in the SPY, causing like a little spike up here. Will it last? That's to be determined. But as now, it spiked up a little bit there. So it kind of, brought a little energy to some of these stocks. Not saying it's going to last, but we'll see here. All right, so come on, GWPH. You can get above this line here. We can get some action. Yeah, you're right, Maria. You're 100% right, sis. Got to get past that 136.50 level. That's exactly what I'm looking at it for that level to, really kind of open up, me to get excited about this trade to the point where I, can possibly even add to the position. If we can get back up there, then I'm gonna add to the position. If not, I'm gonna get up out of it. So again, you see it's pulling back here now, which is typical. It's struggling up here. It's struggling. I mean, nice little climb there, but it's struggling. So I'm gonna be careful here. I might have to get up out of here real quick. Take something off the table. I'm not gonna have 2 losses in a row in it. If it's $50, $60, $80, whatever, I'll take something off the table, and then I'll just wait for it. But that's a typical chart pattern. What I'm seeing here off the low value, because basically what it did, it went back down to near where yesterday's close was. Right, it went up on me a little bit, like 133.39. And it bounced at that level because I was at let you know from a base support perspective, you had buyers that were buying in at that yesterday closing price. So that became a, you know, by default, a level of base, you know, support, right? Or pseudo support, however, you know, depends how you like to look at it. But to me, it's like a base support. So I'm just watching it here very carefully. All right, so it's just, again, it's just showing that weakness. I could have took a partial up there, but I really want this thing to get above this VWAP. You know, no big deal. You know, if we end up coming out with a little, you know, with a small loss, I had a plan in mind. Like, again, I stuck to it. That's what's important. Have a goal, stick to it. Right, have a goal and stick to it. And look at INCY and just going crazy to the upside right now. I actually need to short that top a little bit. Add more shares short to that top up there. Come on, GWPH. Let me see. You can do it. In honor of all the cannabis growers and people out there helping people be healthy and free from cancers and seizures, and y'all can do it. Come on. Come on, y'all can do it. Let's go. Let's go. Break this channel here. Come on, break this channel here. Let's go. Yeah, I need to add to I need to be adding to INCY. Come on, GW. You got a little while longer here. Well, I might just gonna get up out of here, just watch you again. And then I'll see about taking it later, possibly. Right now, I need to be over here beating up on INCY. I see 166 left on the level 2. Let's see here. Come on, thing. Bounce. You can do it. Bounce. More bounce right here. 4 red candles back to back. We need a bounce right here. Come on and bounce. Come on and bounce here. All right. Yeah, the red line is VWAP. Yeah, that's it, brother G Gang. The red line is the VWAP. Hey, peace. Hey, I see you, family. Thank you for stopping by today, Sunline. Thank you, family. And here trying to trade this stock real quick, and it's acting retarded. The news came out on it though, so I'm trying to see what's up. Again, you know, took a little $80 loss in it earlier. Rough's like 70 something change. Just trying to bounce, see if we can catch some level of support. But it's, I mean, it's all over the place a little bit here, and trying to find itself. The spread is kind of a little bit, you know, wicked right now. It had tightened down at one point, then it kind of, you know, became spread again. You know, people between the bid and the ask, people warring and trying to get, you know, what value they want out of it. Obviously, again, they just, you know, dropped on this value of the news, so people kind of, you know. But you got some other stocks probably right now that's moving right now because of it, right? Like Cara. Like if y'all looking at CARA right now, probably go check that stock. That's another marijuana stock. CARA, ZYNE. Okay, yeah. So actually, ZYNE failed, so that would be a stock that's probably short right now because of the fact that GWPH, you know, its competitor dropped news right now. So CARA. It's probably down right now because again, all these stocks within this sector are actually competitors. As opposed to them running with GPW, they're actually pulling back. All right, so they're probably offering up some nice little shorts right now. All right, let me pay attention here because I'm sitting there talking and not looking. It's staying back down to $20. Hold up. It's slowly but surely breaking down a little bit here. I mean, the volume pretty much came and left. You know, people use it for that spike, then they probably rolled up out of there. So if it definitely doesn't move here, I'm just gonna go and get out, take this little. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. How much of it in there? Yeah. All right, so that's that. Oh well. I'll watch it here again. If it changes, then we'll get at it. If it don't, then whatever. But I am going to add to my NYSE at this top up here. I am going to add to this one here. Yeah, poor GWPH. It just didn't work out. But I will watch it. I will watch it. All right, we'll watch it here. All right, so that's that. All right. Hey, you should have took it at the 180. Right? I had to go, so I want to stick to it. So I could take the little $80 loss in respect to the value, kind of seeing if we can get some action out of it. So if there's any levels down here where it shows some levels of bounce, hey, I may just take it again. I may just take it again, but until then, I need to see some action. No, I was looking for a loan. Family Tony, I was looking for a loan. Hey, thank you for stopping by over, Alex. I see you in the house. I see you. Yeah, I was looking for a loan, right, on that news, right? I was looking to take it long on the news. And, they obviously had the vote. They had that, the vote, the FDA vote. And, the asset just couldn't really, find, it's, a nice level where it can kind of, bounce and move. But I got my eye on it still. I haven't given up completely on it. But the other stocks, like ZYNE, you probably look at that stock, it's probably down because of the news. But even though GWPH is pulling back, those stocks are kind of still, I don't know where they're at. They still kind of trending downwardly or what, but it's interesting. It'd be interesting to see where they are at this moment. So real quick, so we took a little unfortunate loss in that trade. Took a little small loss in that trade. Right, but again, if it acts like it want to bounce, then hey, we'll get at it. If not, then oh well. We're on to the next. Hey, thank you, family Tony. Thank you. Hey, you always honored here, man. You always welcome here. Again, I'm just trying to get in the habit of, being a little bit more, available to kind of help where I can and just learn too. Because again, this is a think tank. I like to look at this as a think tank. So feel free to come by anytime you see me on, man. If you choose to subscribe, obviously I'm not one of the type of people to tell you to subscribe and like and share. That's up to you. If you choose to see the content for that value, please do so. If not, if you see me on, definitely stop by and holler at your brother. Share some ideas, share some of your trades, anything that nature that we can kind of build from and help each other become better at getting at a bag. So that's what it's all about. Using this market, right? Using the opportunity to get us a bag. So when those moments present themselves, we want to be there. Right, we want to be right there in the thick of that, or in the fold of that value, or the opportunity, right? So you're welcome here anytime. Yeah, I started about, I guess I've been doing it. The live stream's not going on what, maybe about what, 2 or 3 weeks now, guys. Some of you guys have been hanging out a little bit, roughly about 2 or 3 weeks so far since I've been starting to do this everyday, live stream thing, right? So that's it, man. That's it. It's all about that bag. You better say it, bro. Right? If it's not about the bag, they got a little rap song out there. The T.I. guys, if it ain't about the money, don't be hitting my phone or bro, whatever you be saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. Yeah, but it's definitely, that's what we here. Again, we're here for the opportunity, man. The market is an awesome, it's an awesome machine, man. It's an awesome machine. It's an awesome machine. Again, we can get to a bag and not have to worry about, people, being in the way and firewalling you and slowing you up and, throwing a monkey wrench in your plans, right? You don't have to deal with none of that stuff. So people should be excited about that. Just the idea of that, that, any given moment, again, you can kind of write yourself a nice little, little paycheck, if you want to call it that, So by all intents and purposes, it's just a wonderful experience. It's a very wonderful experience. And you're doing it from the comfort of your home. You're doing it from, wherever you are on the planet, so to speak, you can be comfortable in your own right and trade the market, right? As long as you got some capital, you know, the criteria, capital, Wi-Fi, signal, right? Some knowledge, you're gonna get out the bag. Excuse me, go get your bag. You know, so you guys should be excited about it every day. I know I am. I wake up every day like it's a holiday. Every day I'm up, you know, like looking around, eyes wide, like, man, what's going to be you know, on the radar today? You know, what can I get from the market today? What's going to be, you know, who's going to be the next victim today in terms of the market value? And you know, that's just exciting. And it's just, come on, man, we live for this. And people should be excited about the opportunity. You know, I don't get it. Well, people be like, you know, I don't. It may not be for everybody. I keep saying that it may not just be for everybody, but there's so many different ways you can invest in, you know, besides just trading, that you can benefit from. You know, if you got a bank account and a savings account, you're an investor. You just don't know it. But you're not getting you know, a yield on your return or, you know, on your money that's necessary, you know, or worth your time. You got to just sit in the bank. They're not giving you big interest value returns on your money. Nowhere near that you can get out of the stock market. And the greatest thing about a stock market, again, as I keep saying, you can get a brokerage account open faster. You can even get a bank account open. Let that marinate. But you can make more money through your brokerage account than your bank could ever pay you in terms of interest value. Let that marinate. You know, it's a no-brainer. Why would I put my money in the bank? They ain't gonna give me an interest on it just for they could, you know, I could sit in there and then they can take my money and go trade with it. Because that's what they do. They're taking it and trading with it, making acquisitions, mergers with it, and you ain't getting nothing out of the deal. Hey man, we gave you ATM card, we gave you access 24 online, all that. What else you want, man? I want some of that money too. I know y'all just made a big deal over there with Time Warner yesterday, man. Let me get some of that bag. Oh, it don't work that way. You know, that's not how it works. You know, I'm like, well, you know, hey, well, I'm gonna take my money up out of here then. Bye. I mean, y'all don't give me that no interest value anyway. You know, so I'm getting like, you know, to me, it's like a no-brainer. Why would you not want to, you know, use the, you know, the opportunity in the market, you know, to again get you a bag, you know, and then again you're doing it freely, free of any kind of, you know, firewalls. None of that stuff matters. Basically, none of that stuff matters. None of that stuff matters. It has no bearing. You know, I mean, don't care about, you know, your past. I don't care about your criminal history. Don't care about your how many children you got. None of that stuff matters. They can't just, you know, tell you can't get an account. You know, that's you just got some wild stuff probably going on, but other than that, they can't deny you. Right? But you can walk right into Wells Fargo and say, man, I want to open up a bank account. You know, give me the smallest tier one you got. Right? They're gonna run your credit. They got to, you know, check where your mama been over the past 5 years. Right? If you did, you know, what your student loans, all they running all kinds of, you know, checks on you. Like, bro, just you know, come on, just a bank account, bro. Right? But you go right on to the Robinhood, open up that account. Right? You can go right on to Walmart, get you one of the little money market, you know, debit card, I think, link it, if you know, for some of the ones that are accepted, and go right on in the market. Right? Go right on in the market. Right? Go trade the market. You know, so again, in that moment, you know, and then you get more money on your return by trading, you know, catching the right stock, catching the right opportunity, whatever the case, and go get you a bag. You know, go get you a bag. You know, so I'm just saying, man, at any given moment, just stay patient, stay diligent, stay studying, you know, stay surrounding yourself with, again, awesome people, you know, be the success story you want to be, based upon, you know, how serious you take your ability to study and all that, by, you know, and then go execute basically. You know, so it's like anything that you have a passion for, how much you put, you know, energy you put in that to be the best at it, then you will yield that kind of return, you know, through that level of due diligence or that practice. You know, so again, this stuff is, man, investing in trading is not rocket science. It's not, man. I keep telling people, they're like, no, man, you got to be all this, you got to be like that, you got to be, you know, nah, you got to have, you know, finance degree, all this stuff about the stock market. No, it doesn't require that. And I know people working at, you know, a fast food spot right now that's investing in trading the money, making them some nice little supplemental income money to help float their bills, right? Till they can get to a point, you know, where they going to school, whatever the case, until they can get to a point where they can probably even do it full time, you know, and they making more money in some of the investing and trading value than they even getting on their job. It's like, dude, you know, that's when you can walk around with a different swag, right? Any given day, your manager come in acting retarded, you know, and giving you the, you know, a headache about the little, you know, regular little, you know, whatever I don't even know what the minimum wage is, whatever But whatever the little amount they're paying you, you can look at them like, okay, what? You know, and you gonna let me do what I gotta do, or you gonna harass me today? Because if not, you know, I'm about to fire you today. I'm about to let you go today. They looking at you like you crazy or something. Like, no, I'm about to let you go today because I don't need this. You know, I got something else out there I could be doing. I was a lot more, you know, beneficial and lucrative anyway. Right? So let me do what I gotta do, or get out my way. Right? You know, so I don't need this. So yeah, you have power when you got opportunity that you can look elsewhere, right, to get you a bag. Right. So again, that's why I say, you know, open up your mind for opportunity, right? Be that kind of person that's always searching for, you know, opportunity. Be optimistic when it's necessary, right? Don't walk around with such a myopic state of mindset, right? The world doesn't just revolve around what you possibly think it is. So it's big out here. You need intelligent people around you. You need people with some dignity and integrity around you. You need good mentorship. You just need some good examples. All of us, no matter how old you are, everybody needs those kind of things around them every day. If you don't have those things, then you already know it's like, man, it's a battle, right? You need that positive reaffirmation. So again, I just want to be able to kind of provide whatever I can when I can, you know, and learn from you guys in the same breath, right? In that same boat. So again, good energy, basically. All I'm saying, good energy. Always want to have good energy, you know, surrounding me, and then hopefully I can add, you know, pay it forward, right? So just putting that out there. Yeah, guys, y'all already know, man. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you're 100% right, brother Tony. The rest of you guys, y'all guys get it. Alex, you get it, family. Sister Maria, you guys get it. G-Gang, yes, you guys understand it. That's why y'all here, and that's what's interesting, because you know, again, you know, you can kind of choose, you know, when and where you want to invest, how you want to invest, you know, what you want to invest in, why. I mean, all that stuff matters when we ask yourself those 4 questions before you get into a trade. What, you know, what, why, when, and where. But ultimately, again, you don't even have to trade every day. Yeah, you could pick literally one day out of the week that you want to trade the market. You know, whatever money you make from that, you know, that day or whatever, however you trade, you know, that again, then pay the bill off, or they, you know, funded your gas money to get back and forth throughout the week. You know, if you still do have a job, whatever the case. You know, these are things that, again, that, you know, by understanding that, it should just make the people feel like, man, this is all right. It's all right, because all you're doing is hitting the buy button, you hitting the sell button. Obviously, you know, the mechanic aspect of it, right? The toughest thing in dealing with trading, basically, the psychology, right? Getting out of your own head so you can focus on some of the, you know, the more turnkey criteria, and then go get it done. I mean, no one gets any special privilege unless you get some insider information. Everybody see the same charts. Everybody sometimes get pretty much the same pick of different indicators they use, oscillators. Everybody gets the same news and catalysts, right? You don't get any kind of special news that I can't get from just going right over the market, watch the street market, you know, Benzinga, any of those. You know, so what separates, you know, one trader from the next? Their study habits, right? Their study habits, their value of due diligence. That's the only thing that separates, you know, okay traders from what? You know, above average traders. You know, because, you know, their consistent value to always want to be on top, right, of their trading. How bad do you want it? That kind of mentality, right? Ask yourself every day when you wake up, how bad do you want it? You know, and then you can use that fuel to realize that you don't have to compete against nobody. You're not competing against anybody, it's just you against the market. You don't have to worry about your buddy in your cubicle next to you. You don't have to worry about whatever. It's just you and the market, your capital, your knowledge, and then the same charts, indicators, oscillators, catalysts, fundamentals, technical, all that everybody see the same way. You get the same stuff, right? So that's why I say, man, it's the best online business ever. It's the best online business ever, and you can do it anywhere around the world, as long as you have some basic things in play, like, you know, Wi-Fi, all that stuff like that. That's exciting. I speak about these things day in and day out. Y'all probably tired of hearing me speak about it like that, but I know what that does to a person when they can see value, you know, rightfully so, in that likeness. Because you start realizing, well, I'm doing all this other stuff, all this hard stuff, man, and it's taking me forever. Not to say that you give up on those things, but, you know, there's other avenues out there where you can get you some supplemental income. You can go out there and build you some supplemental income. 100% right, Brother Tony. Emotional control, stuff like that. Right? You're right, but over Alex, that means you have to know what you're doing, how to swing trade, or you lose a little bit. Well, again, having a plan, having a goal, and sticking to it. If you don't have that, then of course you can find yourself in a very bad situation. But again, as I always keep saying, you guys gotta trust, right? You gotta trust the process. You got to trust your ability to learn this in a way where you can accept it. Right? You don't want to find yourself trying to guess the market. Right? That's not investing in trading. That's not even, you know, trading. Right? Investing is another thing, because you could buy a stock and just whatever, set it and forget it, and just let, especially if it's a growth stock. Somebody can throw you a stock. Hey, it's a good growth stock. Go, you know, buy it here. Even though the stock might be extended, it may fell off, but they say don't worry about it. It's gonna come down. You're gonna go through all that, but just give it time. Eventually, it's gonna bounce out. And you'll be all right. Right? But I mean, that's easy. But teaching a person how to fish as opposed to just throwing them a fish, that's what we're here for. Right? That's why we're here for. Because again, you guys gonna be in a situation one day. Some of you guys may have kids and may not have kids. You're gonna pay this stuff forward. You're gonna teach your children how to walk into generational wealth, right? Through the value of some solid knowledge and whatever bag that you lead them to work with, right? And that's gonna be exciting. You know, that's gonna be exciting. I know it's exciting to me every time I think about it, because, you know, again, I see, you know, I see the need for it. You know, I see the need for it. You know, across the board for a lot of people. A lot of people need this. A lot of people need this. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about too. A lot of people need this here, right? Because you know they're sitting there trying to figure out how they can make ends meet. You know they're trying to figure out, you know, they need to work 2 or 3 jobs. Like, who wants to work 2 or 3 jobs? That is like, to me, that's like the most ludicrous thing ever. When I hear people say, man, I got like 3 jobs. I'm like, what? That means you ain't got no time to even scratch your back, bro. That ain't living. And what little extra money you think you making, you actually end up losing more, because you taking away a lot of time from something that you could be doing that could give you the opportunity to build a bigger bag, all in one setting. It's supposed you weighing yourself thin across 3 different jobs, barely seeing your family, barely seeing your friends, whatever the case. You're tired, you know. So and then you still got to spend gas to go to these different 3 jobs. You still got to eat, you know, buy food to kind of set up for every time you go to these different 3 jobs. You still spending. So you actually ain't really balancing out unless you actually getting a nice little bag from the other job. Just think about that. Just think about that. And then again, someone taught you how to be financially literate in terms of how to use things like, you know, investments, you know, stock market or whatever. You be like, oh man, why I was doing this hard long time? I could have just been, you know, swing trading, you know, and write myself a nice little paycheck at the end of the week. You know, take some swing trades, you know, 1 or 2 trades out the week and just be done. You know, catching the right scenario, obviously being in the right stock, and obviously, of course, but again, set your parameters, understand your risk management, understand your risk versus reward ratio value, and then go set, you know, go get it done. Then in the week, you know, oh, also this week, picked up additional $700-800, right? Extra $300, right? Extra $200, $100. House money value, you know, whatever, besides a little, you know, value to capital gain tax, which is mine, you know, minimum when it comes to that amount of value, but it's still house money. And then you can turn around and do the same thing the following week or whenever you choose. You can say, I don't even want to touch, you know, the market anymore, you know, for the next month or so. You know, so again, this is why I get excited about this. So, you know, so hey, anytime, family, Tony, man, you always welcome here again. Family, you guys are welcome here. You already know it. But that's why I say, that's why I go hard. That's why I speak, you know, speak this thing into, you know, into the kind of, you know, energy that I do, because I do know it's going to change some of you, you know, some of you guys' lives at some point, in some value, right? In some value, not saying the entire life, but in some value, when you can have the ability to access the market and get your bag, right? And get your bag, you know. So, I mean, to me, it's exhilarating. Every day, I'm fired up. I'm fired up every day. I got that natural energy, right? Just point me to the direction where I can go get it in at, and let me do my thing, right? And let me do my thing at that point. So, all right, but that's it, guys. I mean, come on, man. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. That's all I'm gonna say. We can do this. You know, we can do this. The market owes you. The market owes you. I will keep saying it. This market owes you majorly. Right? It owes all you guys. Right? So go get your bag. As I keep saying, go get your bag. Go get your bag, man. Don't let people keep denying you your bag. Go get it. And go get it with some conviction too. Again, we just push buttons, analyze data, look at some charts, and then we good. We in and we out. That's what we do. That's what we do, guys. I mean, just keep it 100. That's what we do. We data collectors, so to speak. Right? We out there, assessing and analyzing data, and then, again, benefiting off of it. Benefiting off that data. That's it. So I know I'm excited every day because of that opportunity. So yeah, if you guys got trades again that you're looking at, don't hesitate, let me know. But, hey, let's see, if you got something that something you wanted to discuss, either way, definitely let me know. Again, also for the family that's on the panel too as well. Don't hesitate, open up, ask some questions or direct some nice knowledge and some toolage.
I just been learning different chart indicators.
Okay, you go over those indicators lately. Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's it. Anything in particular, or you just kind of just open this, just speaking on those?
I know I was reading about definitely reading about the RSI index, well, the relative strength index. Man, it was a bunch of stuff. Like I was up, at work last night, just going through some definition, familiarizing myself with the terms, and then looking at the different chart patterns, like the Bollinger Bands, and things like that. So nice. I think it made it more practical. Look at this stuff and understand it like that.
Yeah, what you'll see is again. Go ahead, Kevin.
Look at this stuff and understand it like that.
Yeah, what you'll see is again. Yeah, I say, and it's all. I say it's all part of that process, and becoming familiar. So again, it's exposure. Basically, all this exposure. The more you keep exposing yourself to it, obviously we'll go over it too. But you'll see how those things, and it was I know to be true too when it comes to even stuff like that. The indicator, they'll pretty much give you an indication. That's what it is. An indicator for risk. Indicator. It's telling you in so many ways. If a stock is anywhere near this price, this band or this level or this, this line, it's pretty much a level of what that you need to be concerned about, right? Bid you going up or bid you going down? Bid you trying to break a level of resistance, or you just trying to make sure you have chart your level of support to the downside, and that's all it is. Right. When you think about it, right? It's not complicated. I was like some people make it complicated. I get it. You're still trying to figure it out. But it's not, it's just saying, hey, right here is, you want to pay attention here, you know what I'm saying? It's saying, hey, right here, here's your moment, right? Here's your, your moment of truth, so to speak, right? You getting ready to break this line, or you going to break this line or not break it, and then from there,
watching the live streams helps out too.
Say again, family?
Sorry about that. No, I was saying that watching your live streams, it make more sense in real time. You see what I'm saying?
Thank you. And that's why that was my whole purpose in being able to do this, for that reason. Because sometimes seeing it, reading it, going over it, doing it, through the workshops is fine too. But again, then seeing it in real time action, as it's unfolding, that that gives you a little bit more. Okay, yeah, I see now. I see. This is how the market responded right now. Look at the market. All man, okay. And that's all you're saying. It's like anything when you learning a job for the first time, or a new skill, I should say, just a new skill. And going through that repetition. It's the market as a whole is on. All it is repetition. This is repetition. The more you do it, the more you become fluid at it. That's all it is. It's repetition. That's it. No more, no less. It's all repetition.
Right.
And then once you get there, or to that point, it's like I got this. I got this. In terms of where you can just feel comfortable enough to kind of, trade it or descend down on it in a way where you can just, be out of the market for 3 or 4 days long as you know some of the basic criteria that you can go see what's going on in terms of news. You can go get a quick little, read out on this, that, and third, and then you can go trade the market.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's not like you on the job and you gotta, you out for a week and come back, you gotta get caught up on all this work. Yeah, Karen did this and Bob did this and Terry did this and this what you got on this page, that you got on this project right here. You gotta get caught up, you gotta go through all this cramming. You come in the market, I've been out a month. Let me come back in and see what's crap. Okay, yep, this was running today, this was moving. All right, this way it's at on the 20-day moving average, this way it's on the 200-day moving average. Okay, this was going on the geopolitical climate. Okay, great. Let me go get me a bag today. Literally just like that. So
yeah, right on.
Yeah, so we have something special, and then again, as I keep always saying, you guys got to see yourself as above average individuals. You're doing something that most people just don't understand or respect the value, how it can benefit them in more ways than they probably want to give it credit for. Right? They're just writing off because they have no understanding of it, or that fear, or they just use the programming. No, I just I'd rather get me a job, bro. I'm good. I trust I get a job. I'd rather go work for somebody else. Right? Right? That kind of mentality.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, bro. That's if that's your thing, man. Good luck. Good luck. Wish you the best.
Mm-hmm.
But over here we want to move. Again, move in the essence like we're looking for any opportunity that's available, right? We're looking for opportunity every single day, right? We're looking for opportunity every single day.
Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah. Hey, someone's on the panel who's on as well. Someone speak. I see. Okay. Yeah, I had this. Yeah, I couldn't even see. Yeah.
I just got a quick question. What are some of your best brokerage accounts out there?
Say it again.
Like what banks are some of your best brokerage accounts out there? Like Charles Schwab or any other ones?
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I'll go back again. I'm saying, well, we was talking about the brokers that day doing the investment workshop. That I think it was like session 4 or 5. We spoke about some of those banks and stuff. Again, now it all depends upon even in that regard too, about some of them have little perks, better than others here and there, give or take, right? So in that moment, if you like it for for this reason, for that reason, whatever the case. So we know some of the top brands out there, obviously that being definitely TD Ameritrade, one of the big dogs on the block in terms of US-based brokers, right? Definitely Charles Schwab is nice. E-Trade has 2 different values to its platform. It has a pro value, which is a little bit more robust than this kind of basic turnkey one. Then I mean, there's so many others. You got Ally, you got and we talking about more robust type platform. We're not talking about like USA, because I also have USAA, but that's more of a bank, retirement scenario, kind of trading scenario. All right, but again, there's others out there, like some of the ones I just kind of gave you an indication about. But actually, we're gonna touch on that a little bit this evening too. Again, I'm gonna go back over some of that stuff, because again, that's what we've been trying to touch on a little bit here and there anyway, when it comes to brokers and just the platforms, trying to get everybody obviously acclimated to get the little TD Ameritrade at this point anyway. But for your level where you are right now in terms of the training, definitely it'd be great to definitely get the TD Ameritrade, so you can take advantage of the Thinkorswim trade platform that it has within it. Right. So definitely, I always would recommend TD Ameritrade as far as American-based broker. But that's just me. I may be a little biased too, but it's the most most diverse brokerage firm basically out there at this point. And it's kind of like, I just keep it 100. It's like the Verizon. It's like the Verizon of trading brokers, basically. Just to get heads up. So that's what I was saying. A lot of the workshops, like I say, if you guys can go ahead and get that get that TD Ameritrade account set up, so you can take advantage of the paper trading aspect of it. So you can kind of start practicing. That's the goal, right? That's the goal we're trying to get done for the last 2-3 weeks. But I know, like I said, a lot of people got stuff going on. It's hard, to get everybody on one sheet of page at one moment. But that's the goal, right? We get everybody, acclimated to that. We can do this stuff together, like in a group setting,
Yeah, I got TD Ameritrade set up right now, but I'm not going to the test money in there and everything. But I don't need to do all that, because I'm just doing the paper. What you call it?
The paper trading?
Yeah. So I don't need to put no money in there or anything, right?
Right now, you don't have to put any money. That's why I said we're gonna go with that one first, because with that you can just open up and and pretty much just start practicing, right? As I say, trust the process. Give yourself time, to learn. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself time to kind of really get this, and then you can if you want to just go I was at that point go ham, then so be it. But again, I want you guys to not have to go through any kind of unnecessary, losses or whatever throughout the process, because it's just not necessary. You don't have to unless you just feel like you just got to do it. You know what I'm saying? But trust that process, bro. Trust that process. Give yourself time, to get it, and then again, when the moment presents itself in a way where you can really see yourself, comfortable enough to want to trade, with real capital, or at least big capital, even just playing around a little bit on Robinhood, which I say, if you're gonna do that, then play a little bit on Robinhood, but don't go in there putting on big money in there and just going at it and just got there guessing, right? That's not how you want to learn this, right? I've seen people get burnt too many times just doing that, and they're like, "No, I got it, man. I think I'm good enough," and then they go, whatever, the account get blown up or whatever. I know you guys had a little small setback with the PDT rules. I was trying to get around to that. All right, y'all gonna get locked out your account, right? So again, but this process, you got to trust it. You got to trust it, right? Give yourself that time. Again, hope nobody lose no big money in that, but give yourself enough time to understand all the different little small little facets, because when you get ready to go live, when you're really comfortable, you already be what you'll be good to go. You'll be good to go in that regard. You'll have a little bit more understanding, about where, when, why, why all those little 4 questions I keep talking about. You'll be able to answer all those questions, unequivocally with no kind of hesitation, because you'll know, right? You will know in that moment enough to protect yourself or feel comfortable about the scenario, so to speak, right? So that that makes any sense, so to speak. So my goal is just that. I want to give you quality content information the best I can, and then from there, it's like anything. You just you go get it done, right? It turns under your own disposition, so to speak. Right. But yeah, definitely, like I said, you got it. If you got a TD Ameritrade set up, then solid platform. And again, we talk about early on, say you give yourself 6 months from now, maybe a year from now, and you start walking into all these different opportunities in terms of the different brokerages out there. Obviously, you guys see me trade with TradeNet. This is one that I'm at some point. If you guys want to get more information on this, I want to be able to show it to you, offer it to you. Because they have some nice little buy-in packages for people that really want to take advantage of some big buy-in power. It gives you big margin value, right? So basically, like you hear me saying, you pay like $500, they give you like a $14,000 buy-in power type account. So you get to trade basically with 14 grand just by putting in 500, right? Then you get a chance to leverage some of these stocks when they're up and running and moving, where before you can only take small side. But again, it's always better to learn how to fish, with minimum bait than to have a lot of bait anyway, because again, if you don't have a good risk management structure down, discipline down, you start going in real big and you start doing like exactly what people tell you that they think this is. They think you they think you gambling, because you don't how to understand how to partition your way into a trade, right? You don't know how to add shares to it. You just going in all in. Often you go big today, next thing you know, you blow your count up. Right? Then at that point, most cases people like, God dang it, I shouldn't have done that, right? Hindsight, right? Well, I was going in before that, you kind of had an idea you shouldn't have did it, but it's just that the thrill of wanting to be, in a good moment or a home run scenario. Then you find yourself kind of, like backpedaling a little bit when it's, when it goes against you. So, the goal is to be consistent, consistently green. Again, those base hits, as I keep saying, it's better to have base hits than always kind of go for the home run, right? It's always better to get the base hit than trying to swing for the fences all the time. Right, investing and trading is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It really isn't. I mean, trust me, it's not. Right, and most people kind of look at it sometimes that way, like, man, I don't have all day to be in the market. I don't have all day to be doing this. Man, I gotta find me I gotta find me a big one and I'm out. That kind of mentality. And I'm like, why? No, take your time. This is your capital. You put on the line here. You putting your capital on the line here. So. Yeah, I don't, see how you would, I don't know. If you just play with your money like that, so be it. But, I want to take, I want us to be seeing this as something that's valuable, right? The same way You just don't walk up to an average stranger and say, hey, hold this $500 till I come back, or even if I don't come back. No, you want to be protective, right? You want to be protective of your opportunity to grow your capital. All right, so again, but we're gonna keep hammering that. Yeah, we're gonna stay on top of that, because I know when it sets in, I already know all the stuff you go through when you new. We've all been there. For some of the guys that's already been trading a bit for a little time. We know what you go through, right? All those things kicking in the back of your head, right? And sometimes you see other people trading and they might be successful in some way. You be like, man, I got to get this, right? I got to go do this, right? But again, in that moment, that's when you say, wait, let me just take my time. The market ain't going nowhere. Let me trust this process, and then let me go get it done, right? And then in that moment, then you start saying, see, this is why, I took enough, I took the chance on me to be patient enough to kind of get this. So I'm telling you right now, a year from now, some of you guys are gonna be like, man, hey, bro, today, man, I went in there and crushed it, right? I was in the market for the past week, man. That's what bought my wife engagement ring, bro. I let the market pay for it. Stuff like those kind of, I hear those kind of stories like, almost every day for the different rooms I'm in and out of and whatever. Man, had I ever got exposed to the market, man, I would have never been able to do this and do that. I would have never been able to buy my boat, right? I wouldn't have been able to get, pay my house off, stuff like that. You're like, dang it, right? And then, here it is. All you got to do is just what? You just read information. You looking over charts, you understand some data, and then you go in and execute it. Truly, it's as simple as that. Yeah, I know it's, a little bit more to it, but that's when you get to that point when you understand, all that other stuff, the complexity, so to speak, all the things that, encompass investing in trading, where you're not sitting there, struggling with trying to figure out, all this kind of foreign stuff. Once you have a somewhat of an idea of what's going on, then you just go get it done. You're at that point, you just go get it done. You go execute. So again, it takes time, but it's not as much as it is to go get a 4-year degree to go learn how to work for somebody else, to be programmed how to do a certain specific jobs that only give you a certain level of understanding, and then you got to figure out the rest out on your own anyway. But in the process of that, you got to give up so much to get that time, debt, all this stuff. And here it is. You can go literally right over to YouTube or Google and learn literally about the stock market on your free time. And it can give you a bigger return on any other investment, scenarios out there, with the likeness of that, or possibly even real estate. The real estate, one of those scenarios where you get obviously big returns, but obviously takes a little longer in that regard, because sometimes it takes a house to kind of, go on off the market sometimes 2-3 months, 4-5 months in case. Right? Sometimes you get some under that, you go through, you have one of those scenarios where the, seller and the buyer and all of them on the same page, and and all this stuff is just clicking. You get that thing in, you out, 2-3 weeks, you closing on it, right? But again, at that moment, you still got to wait for all the numbers to kind of turn over so everybody can get their piece off that pie. Well, you can go to the market. You can come in the market like literally right now, 224. Find your stock that's moving and go get you a bag. Right? Depend on what kind of capital you're dealing with, the kind of knowledge you're dealing with. I mean, that could be kind of bag, that sets a precedence that's more than what a person possibly make in an entire month. And you went and did that in less than probably 30 minutes, hour, whatever the case, give or take. And you in and you out. Find me a better scenario than that. Then I promise you, I'll be right there with you. I'll be right there holding the line with you, bro. I'm like, you got it, bro. If you got a switch, I'm right here with you. All right, let's go get it. So again, this is why, I really want to be, adamant and professing that, trust the process, guys. Trust that process. You're gonna get there, and when you get there, it's gonna be sweet. It's gonna be sweet, right? It's gonna be agave sweet, not cane sugar sweet. Cane sugar ain't good for your teeth anyway. That's another conversation another day. It's gonna be agave sweet, right? It's gonna be sweet, right? Natural sweetness, right? Whatever the case. All right. So again, just putting that out there, but I hope that answers the question. I know I went off a little bit all over the place, but but definitely TD Ameritrade. There's many of them out there. Obviously you heard Eo Camille. I see her in the back chat speaking about stocks trades. Obviously that's account for new people that's starting off like Robinhood, so to speak, that doesn't have no commission, but that one has actually no PDT rule, right? So you don't have to worry about having to deal with that 3 days out the week that you're going to trade a stock intraday back and forth, right? That's unlimited. Right. And then it all has a T+0 rule as well, where in that same regard, if you buy a stock and sell it, it'll turn around or, you know, fund your account back. You'll get that money right back to go back into another trade. You don't have to wait, you know, for it to settle in 2 or 3 days before you get the money to trade again, right? They don't have that at U-Stocks trade. The only drawdown is that they don't have, you know, typically a lot of different other stocks to trade like Robinhood would have, or so like, you know, the other platforms have like TD Ameritrade. That's the only downside value. Some of it a little cumbersome in some way, but that's every broker. Everybody has just what is ups and downs. Same with your, you know, your cell phones you may like. You know, some of them have, you know, good features and the other one don't, you know, may have and the other one need it. Right? They never put it all in one device, so to speak. They never get it right. But that's by design, right? It's a marketing ploy, right? To make you go back and buy the next thing. But when it comes to brokerage and stuff like that, again, you know, you just need to make sure it can buy and sell, it can execute with some nice speed to the point where get you in and out of the trade. That's, to me, that's it. You know, that's it. You know, so the rest is just whatever. Right? You want execution, then you want, you know, obviously clarity, or you can, you know, watch the chart. But sometimes you even have to even look at the chart that they even offer you through the trading platform. They got other stuff out there. Right, guys, you guys see I use TradingView, right? So that means you got so many different, you know, things that you can do to help you become, you know, solid or give you clarity, and then to being able to perfect this craft and then do good by it, right? And then do good by you, right? Because you used it properly, right? So that's important. That's important. Right, so yeah, see, hey, family, Brian, I see you in the house. Thank you for stopping by, family. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, man, that's it, man. You 100% right, Brian. You right. Be careful. That's it, man. You gotta be careful. With a small account, you can blow your account up real fast. You're 100% right. Follow some of their calls. 1,000% right. Right? Because it's important. Again, you got to trade within your, you got to trade within your lane. As they say, stay in your lane, so to speak. Right? Everybody has to stay in their lane. Right? In terms of their bank account availability value to trade, in terms of their skill set. Right? You got to find, as I always keep saying, find your own niche, right? Or your own niche, but steal from everybody, right? There's always some knowledge out there that you can kind of latch on to, right? Then you just got to see if it can fit within your criteria, right? Or your modality, so to speak, of how you want to trade. And then you go, deal with it. If it works for you, then use some of it, If it don't, then, whatever, you just go on to the next, appreciate the nugget. Right? But we're all trying to refine our skill set every day. All of us. Every day we wake up, we're just trying to refine our skill set. I mean, I know I am. I'm learning still to this day. Every day I'm looking, to get better. I'm looking to get better every single day. And again, any given moment, in being able to use this opportunity, I should say, I can go and make a beautiful trade that will obviously, number one, convince me that, number one, I know I am doing something that I can, really be comfortable at. And then the reward is, oh, here's some money. Here's some money. Just knowing that you're taking the right trades, that's a win in itself, regardless of what the monetary payout may be. I know we always want to get a big bag, so I get it, to make some money, but just knowing you make the right decision to get in a trade and it went your way, that's a win. That's the kind of stuff I get excited about. I get excited about the win. And then I see, picked up a little gains, too, in that value, in terms of the value of the gain. But I'm understanding the risk management, mitigating my risk, not overexposing myself, not going all in, knowing how to partial in, knowing how to partial out, right? Not just, chancing it and sort of, guessing that it could do this and it could do that. No, having an idea of what to do, then going to execute. Right? Y'all saw me do that with GPWH. I had a goal. If this is what I was looking for, it didn't hit there, I'm out. I could have took a partial up there, but I was waiting for it to hit that level. I had a level of what I was willing to risk out the gate. Right. So that's all I was willing to risk. If it go against me, I'll take that loss. If it goes in my favor, then I'm good. And that's just it. So, but that's, it's all preparation. It's all preparation. Right. And then obviously, executing in that likeness too. All right. So again, but that's it, guys. We're gonna keep plugging at this thing, man. All I'm saying, we're gonna keep plugging at this thing. And then we go, at some point, that light bulb, when it goes off, it goes off. I know how it was with me. I know how it was for a lot of other people I was trading with at that time. That was someone on the same time I was at the same breath. When that light bulb goes off, it just goes off. You're like, what? Oh, they're in trouble now. I just picked up a little extra now, this little extra skill set. Oh, they're in trouble now, right? I refined this a little bit better now. Oh, they're in trouble now. I tightened down on my risk management better. Oh, they're in trouble now. You know, I became better at studying and, you know, I understand how to, you know, search for data in a way where I can get the information early before everybody else. Oh, they're in trouble now. And that's all it is. You just revealing, you know, the market revealing itself to you, right? You know, by a year or so later, you know, you kind of like Neo when he in the Matrix, right? When he woke up, he's seeing everything in ones and zeros. You walk around, look around like, man, you just look at the chart and already know what's going on. You walk right in the building, like, oh, I know what's going on right here already. Possibly, I don't even know the catalyst, but I can see what's going on with the chart right now. I see the pattern, I see the trend. Okay, yeah. You in this stop? something like that, so to speak. You know, but that's all it is, guys. And then you teach your spouse this, you teach your children this, you teach your friends this. Man, that stuff exciting. I love sharing this information with other people because I don't know nobody else that's running around beating down people's doors to teach them how to invest in the market. I don't know no one. I've yet to see one person knock on my door and say, hey, do you know about the global financial markets and how to invest in the market? Not one. Not one. I get flyers from banks and credit cards and all day long. Hey, man, get our credit card, get our bank, try our bank. Not one show up, you know, saying, hey, you know, let me teach you how to invest in the market. Or here, try our brokerage out, you know, try our brokerage out for free. You may not understand, but we'll teach you. You know, so I'm just saying. So to me, you know, we got a good scenario because we got, you know, obviously a scenario where people are starting to wake up to this information or they're sharing it where people start, you know, get it, you know, acclimated to it, want to learn more about it. You know, the rest is just going through the process and get it done. Right? And like, so if I ask right now, well, some of you guys is probably not trading, still going through the trading. If I ask you right now, you know, could you use a quick $100, you know, for any reason? You know, most people say, yeah, this, you know, there ain't really no hard work involved. Right? First thing the person asks is, what's the catch? Right? Like, well, the only catch is that, you know, you take this knowledge here, right? I'm gonna show you how to do it, and then it won't just be a catch, I mean, it's like a one-time thing, but it'll be a ongoing thing. Right? It'll be going. It's an ongoing thing. You can do this every single day if you choose. So it's not gonna be here today, going tomorrow. Now you ain't nothing like that. Like it's nothing out there like that, man. I'm like, are you sure? Where this is what separates people that got wealth from those people that have no understanding of what wealth even is. There's people that claim that they're rich, right? But they don't understand the value of what real wealth is, right? That means, you know, they 1, 2, 3 parties, 4 or 5 different little cars away from going back to where they came from, because they still don't have a way to generate and put their money to work in a way it kind of keeps going back, bringing back more money, right? The goal is to put your money to work, right? Send it to work. It's a tool, so you send it out there so it can come back with more money, right? Come back with more little baby money. Like, yeah, you brought back some new friends. Like, yeah, I see Benjamin over there. I see Andrew and all that. Yeah, okay, you brought back some good little people with you. Right? Today you came back more than just with George Washington today. Right? That's how I make this stuff so fun to me. I get excited about this stuff. You came back today with a nice little group of friends with you, right? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, someone said the mic, something wrong with the mic? He said what's the noise? It's a ringing sound. Hold on, let me see. I'm just talking, y'all know I get in my little moments. Give me, guys. Let me see. You guys hear some? Can you guys hear me clearly on the panel? Audio. The audio is tripping. You know what? I've been hearing lately. They're saying when a person get to dropping that good information, that's when they go to what, messing with your audio and messing with your trying to what, sabotage you. Somebody was so confused about that the other day. Let me try something here, guys. Forgive me. All right. Sound like cricket? Oh yeah, something ain't right there. 1 second.
So the $575 snow pants. You've got lots of things that aren't quite that expensive. Right. Lots of things under $50.
So I'm just playing this. I'm hoping it sounds clear to you guys. So I just got CNBC going. Let me know if it's clear on you guys' end.
Yes, they will. I mean, 60% of the product we sell on the site is under $100. So we have a wide range of product, but there are certain areas where people like to invest, whether it's that beautiful crib or it's that, you know, beautiful dress for their Christmas card photo. But then there are other areas that you know your kids are going to grow out of in about 5 seconds. So
don't waste the money there.
Exactly. So people shop high-low.
You obviously saw a lot of fashion when you were working at Vogue. When you're going to start a business, why did you pick this sector of fashion, kids, as opposed to, I don't know, I think most people think they want to design for women walking down the catwalk.
We were really solving our own problem. We had children. We both have 3 children under the age of 6, and we found it incredibly difficult to shop for them. We were online late at night as working moms, but even as just a mom in general, it's a time in your life when you have the least amount of time. And the market is incredibly fragmented. So you're shopping here for shoes and there for special occasions. There wasn't a centralized solution for parents to shop everything you needed for your children on one site. And so we really sought to solve that problem.
You guys proved that saying, I think it was Margaret Thatcher, if you've got a problem, give it to a busy woman. I mean, you both got 3 kids under 6 and you're starting a business. You like your stress in small doses, don't you, ladies? How much of your stuff, well, let me ask you this. Where do you source your fashions and how do you find them?
Everywhere. Well, we started with our own network. So our favorite shops, our favorite brands where we were shopping for our own kids. And then through the, mommy network, that's how we really discovered, because as Silvana said, it's a highly fragmented market. So there's a lot of discovery to it. A lot of these brands, you've never heard of them. And so it's really through your own network.
So you're not actually creating the product yourself. You are curating from lots of small producers around the world that are high end.
Exactly. High end and low end. We really do. We do cover both ends of the market.
You have lots of items. How many proportionally of your sales are what you would call special occasion garments as opposed to everyday garments?
About 20% is more special occasion. And
a dress that a young girl might wear if she were going to a wedding or a special birthday party.
Right. We are expanding our assortment such that we're really building out that maintenance items that you're shopping every day for your kids. Our customers shopping once a week for their children. About 60% of our customers are. And so we're really expanding that assortment so that we're giving them those maintenance items.
Right. So last question. Yeah, the devil wears Prada. Was it accurate?
It's a good story, right? It's always a good story. But, we had a great time at Vogue. Anna was an incredible mentor and a tough boss, but that's what's made us sort of the businesswomen we are today.
Good answer. Very positive. Your best bosses are always your toughest bosses.
That's true.
Or they're the most demanding.
Very true.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I want to know how many people buy that $975 tuxedo for their little boy. That was a cute little tuxedo. Oh, man. All right. Coming up. Melissa, what's coming up?
Apple chip suppliers are coming up. They're getting whacked today. Will the downtrend continue? The Trading Nation team tackles that. That's next.
The CNBC stock draft is back, and with a field of hungry competitors. A repeat won't come easy for the reigning champion, Mr. Wonderful.
You're all going down.
Will an NFL legend reclaim his magic? Will it be a Cinderella story? Who are this year's underdogs or ducks? It's wide open. 60 stocks, 8 teams, 3 rounds. The CNBC stock draft. A Power Lunch special event next Thursday, 2 Eastern, CNBC.
Nation, we're trading chip stocks today. The group getting slammed. Check out the SMH sinking nearly 5% on pace for its worst day since 2016. This on the back of key chip maker Taiwan Semi cutting its revenue forecast. So it's a time to get out of these once high-flying names. Mark Teppers with Strategic Wealth Partners, Gina Sanchez with Chantico Global. Mark, let's kick it off with you. Semis are seen as cyclical. Is this a bad sign for the economy?
I don't think it's a bad sign for the economy, but we're definitely a high conviction underweight on the semiconductor sector in general. The global M&A frenzy from last year, along with all the Bitcoin hype, really pushed these stocks into the stratosphere to the point where 5-year earnings growth forecasts hit an all-time high of 25%. And that's just a really tough hurdle to overcome. So, we definitely feel it's time to dump the chip names that are heavily dependent on the high-end smartphones, especially with Taiwan Semi, when 21% of your revenue comes from one source, being Apple. I mean, you really don't see people waiting in these long lines to buy the newest iPhones anymore. And you can see that with Apple, their strategy has changed to include a more balanced mix of revenue where they're getting more from services. So I think there's obviously a changing landscape, and that's why we're underweight on this sector.
Gina, your thoughts? Well, we're not quite as negative as Mark is, but he makes some really, really good points, which is that clearly we're probably slowing, but there is still significant demand there. Part of what's driving today really has to do with an inventory drawdown, which is Apple's decision to pull all the inventory of the A11 chip from Taiwan Semiconductor so that they can get ready to use the A12. That has nothing to do with the demand. That basically was over ordering. They're now drawing down that inventory, getting ready for another cycle. The demand is still in place, but there was parts of the demand that were overhyped, right? Like the crypto mining, et cetera. But there are other parts that are still pretty heavily, they're probably going to do well, like artificial intelligence and automotive, et cetera. So while we're probably not as heavily negative, we would say that these are signs of slowing, but there is still demand. Okay, guys, going to leave it there. Gina and Mark, thank you. For more market insights, head to our website, tradingnation.cnbc.com. Jeff, please, is next.
And now, the latest from tradingnation.cnbc.com, and a word from our sponsor.
When you own a stock that's going higher, help lock in profits by raising your stop order. As your stock moves higher, your risk-reward ratio may fall out of balance. So, consider raising your exit point to under a significant support level, allowing you to ride the trend as long as possible.
please.
My check, please. One of the best sound bites of the week came from an interview that Morgan Brennan did earlier this week with Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross at the Space Exploration Conference. We kid you not, they discussed colonizing asteroids for minerals.
We need to have it on an international basis because we're really talking an intergalactic environment in which they're operating. So somebody has to try to figure out what are the rules of the road. If you get to the asteroid first, are all the minerals there yours, or is it just what you dig out the first time?
Important questions.
That's your asteroid, and those are important questions.
There is, in all seriousness, though, there could be elements out there found in asteroids that will be necessary for new technologies like battery technology, etc. Rare earths, perhaps, we don't know. So this could be very valuable in terms of.
Well, somebody's thinking about that.
Exactly.
About that.
Hey, Sarah, what's your tip, please?
Well, I've got a graphic for you guys. Since I'm among all the wonky economists, I figured I'd bring a chart. But this is really an eye-opener, and everybody's talking about this. It looks at country debt levels. Remember, the IMF is sort of sounding the alarm bells over debt. Look what sticks out on the right side. That is the United States. It is the only major economy where the debt to GDP ratio over the next 5 years is set to grow. So this is clearly of concern. It's not a problem until it is, according to the markets, as you guys were talking about, but still, this is pretty alarming.
And mine is a speech that Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, gave, where he discusses what he sees as a civil war in France, pitting the forces of, I believe, what he calls illiberalism, but not in the narrow sense of liberal versus conservatism, against the forces of democracy. He sees that conflict on the rise in Europe, by extension around the world. He thinks we haven't done enough thinking about it, and so do a lot of people, including the author Ian Bremmer, who has a new book out next week that addresses this, among other things.
All important issues.
Yep.
All right, guys. See you back here, Sarah. Thanks for watching Caroline.
Closing bell starts right now. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Closing Bell live at the New York Stock Exchange. I'm Kelly Evans.
And I'm Wilfred Frost. It's the final hour of trading. Here's where we stand in the markets right now. The Dow swinging more than 200 points during the day session. We are down 0.5% for the Dow. The Nasdaq's down almost 1%.
And the real big swings are Treasury yields are putting pressure on the market. And take a look at some of these rates. We're talking about the highest levels in years for the 2-year and the 5-year today. And look at the difference between what you'll get for holding a 2-year Treasury bond versus a 30-year. What, about half a percentage point? This is, by the way, the 10-year going over 2.9%, a key focus of the markets today as well.
Let's get right to our reporters. Steve Leisman has more on how rates are impacting the economy. But first, to Bob Pisani with the impact on the market. Bob?
Higher rates are impacting interest rate sensitive groups like banks, as well as commodity sensitive stocks. And you might think some are not, but they are being affected. First, financials. Remember, JP Morgan reported on Friday. It's only been down since then. Most of the banks are trading up. Goldman's kind of flat, but JP Morgan and most of the regional banks are up about 1%. Commodity prices rising are a major problem for a lot of groups. Lumber prices are at new highs today. Lumber prices higher, interest rates higher. You think that's a problem for a home builder? Look at some of the home building stocks today. KB Home down over 6%. Also, there are aluminum prices are sitting near new highs, moving up dramatically this month. That's helping a lot of the big, of course, commodity plays, aluminum companies. Here's Aluminum Corporation of China, which understandably is from China here, up almost 5%. That's been moving up really for the last 2 or 3 weeks. And then, of course, we have the energy stocks overall. We talked about oil sitting near 4-year highs. Here's ExxonMobil, which in a down day is up a little bit, but it's up about 6% for the month. This has been one of the big winners. So the big hope for the market has been earnings are so powerful that we are now making a run towards new historic highs. We're only 1% from the Russell 2000 from historic highs and about 5% from the S&P 500. The question is, can we make it? And the reason this whole rate hike story is a big thing is that's the #1 killer of the markets. If the Fed starts raising rates more aggressively or we get sudden moves up elsewhere for interest rate, it's going to be a problem. And that's why people are rather concerned and talking about this as the Fed has sounded a little bit more hawkish in the last couple of weeks. Guys, back to you.
Bob, thanks very much for that. For more on the impact of rising rates on the economy itself, let's bring in CNBC senior economics reporter Steve Leisman. Steve.
Well, thanks. A couple of risks presented by these higher rates. First, that they will slow the economy more than the Fed thinks is warranted, making consumer and business loans more expensive. Second, that the financial system is so leveraged to low rates that a sharp rise could create potential systemic risk. Another concern, the signal being sent by the compressing yield curve, that is the sharper rise in short rates compared to longer rates. But Fed Vice Chairman for Bank Supervision, Rand Paul, spoke yesterday. He said he did not see a recession signal at current levels.
If you have an inverted yield curve for an extended period of time, right, then that in itself could have effects on the financial sector that that could then lead to sort of a lack of support for real economic activity. But I'm not viewing the current flattening of the yield curve as a particular signal towards impending recession.
Markets firmly believe in 2 more rate hikes this year from the Fed, and there's a bid on the 3rd hike. You can see there the probability of a June hike at 88%, probability of September hike 63%, but just 30%. Now that is high for that contract, but still not above the 50% level. If bond yields are higher because of better growth, represents less of a challenge for the economy if they're up because of the rise in deficits and the need for the Treasury to place more paper, guys. And tomorrow I'm going to have a chance to talk about these issues with Neil Kashkari, the Minneapolis Fed president, live from Minneapolis at 2:15 p.m., Kevin.
I can't get over some of these moves in the bank stocks today. American Express, granted, had earnings yesterday. It's up 7%. Bank in New York is up 5%. KeyBank is up 4%. I mean, these are dramatic moves.
You know, the banking stocks have tried to rally on higher rates for a very long time. I think it's interesting that they're rallying on, and it hasn't worked, and now they're finally rallying on higher rates. And then all of a sudden, the one thing I want to point out, guys, is that, yes, it's something worth noting that these levels are high right now, but they still seem to be right now at the top of the range that we hit earlier this year. I guess it was back in January. And then they retreated from this level. I think we'd have to go through, say, the 3% level to know that this is a definitive move higher and not just flirting again with the top of the interest rate range that we've been in.
Steve, thank you very much for that. I'd add as well on the banks, it's because yields had slipped so much coming into that. It's almost like, oh, actually, we don't have to fear that
relief.
Exactly, that negative yields story. But I'd also say in the short term, even though the yield curve is flat, they can still make money with rising short-term yields. It's the long term that they don't want such a flat yield curve.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of specific themes playing out in the market today. Another one of them, take a look at what's been happening. The semiconductor index right now is down almost 5%. And we have a lot of the Nasdaq, Apple suppliers, I should say, incredibly weak today. Lam Research, ASML, we're talking about 6 or 7% declines. All this after Taiwan Semiconductor, which is actually itself down about 6%, trimmed its full-year revenue estimates on weaker smartphone demand. Apple, not surprisingly, down about 2.5% and weighing on the Dow right now. Cirrus Logic and XP, those are getting hit hard too. Let's bring in Josh Lipton. Help explain all this. What's going on here, Josh?
Kelly, Taiwan Semiconductor did report results, and investors, as you mentioned, they're clearly not so happy. The company offering a second quarter sales forecast that did miss analyst estimates. Now, on the call, execs talked about weakness from a, quote, very high-end smartphone. They never did mention Apple by name on the call specifically, but the team at Morgan Stanley pins that forecast miss in part on order cuts from the iPhone 10 processor. Apple does account for some 20% of that company's revenue. Apple, as you noted, Kelly, under pressure today, as are its suppliers. Check out names like Skyworks, Qorvo, Broadcom, and Cirrus Logic. So what does this all mean for Apple investors? Bottom line, RBC's Amit Daryanani says softer iPhone 10 data points shouldn't really be too surprising at this point, in his opinion, saying that muted iPhone units are, in fact, now well understood by the street. Still, Daryanani tells me he remains bullish on Apple, pointing to strong free cash flow, outsized capital allocation, and a bet that gross margins do move higher from here. Apple, remember, reports earnings on May 1st. Analysts then are expecting iPhone units at 53 million. That would be a gain of 4% year over year. Will, back to you.
Josh, thanks very much for that. Meantime, as concerns over Apple's growth, it's a different story at Amazon, where the curtain has finally been lifted on one of the company's most closely guarded secrets. How many people actually subscribe to Amazon Prime? And CNBC's Steve Boza has more on the numbers for us. Steve.
Hey, well, that's right. 13 years post-Prime launch, Bezos finally giving us a number.
That is 100 million Prime subscribers globally. They pay not just the annual $99 fee, but they're also being pulled deeper into Amazon's ecosystem. Now, to put it into perspective, the number of Prime members is lower than that of Netflix subscribers, but far higher than the subscribers of other popular services like Spotify and Hulu. More so than the others as well. Once you're in the Amazon Prime system, the company can upsell you on other services like fresh grocery delivery and music unlimited. All the better, of course, to collect more data and sell you more stuff. So guys, this is a long-awaited number, but there's still plenty of questions around the Prime program and its contribution to Amazon's bottom line. While subscriptions have grown, so have the perks as Bezos spends big in new businesses for Prime members like hardware and original content. Now, Amazon does not break out Prime profitability. It's part of a revenue line called subscription services that brought in $3.2 billion last quarter and has grown at a rate of about 50% over the last year. It's unclear how much of that, the subscription fee plus the extra spending by Prime members, may offset costs. But of course, Bezos has never been shy to forgo profit for what he calls, at the start of his letter, unrelenting customer obsession. Guys. Exactly. It's line one. The first thing he talks about is in a recent satisfaction survey where, and by the way, I think there's a subtle regulatory point in there, which is to say, yes, everybody in Washington seems to be obsessed with anti-competitive behavior here, but we're putting the customer first, and the customer seems to like it right now.
D, separate as well. Sorry, you go.
Go ahead, Bill. Well, I was just going to say on that point, too, he also, we're talking about regulations and politics, he, at the start of that letter, pretty close to the top, talks about how many jobs Amazon has created over the past year. So, yes, milestones, but he starts that letter, remember, with how much Amazon is contributing.
Yeah. See, those sort of numbers in terms of comparing sub numbers to the likes of Netflix and, music subscription services, how much do we get an inclination of how much Amazon Video plays into the Amazon Prime subscription numbers versus the free delivery of packages, or no comments on that yet?
Well, that's the whole thing. They don't break out a whole lot. So this was a big figure, even though Netflix, and you get these numbers on a regular basis from other streaming companies. This is the first time that Amazon has gone beyond saying just tens of millions of Prime subscribers. And Will, you hit on a very important point. You get an ecosystem. So for $99 a year, you're getting not just 2-day free shipping, you're getting access to a growing library of digital content, including that original video content, music, things like this. So that was my point. The costs are likely a lot higher with what Amazon is offering. They're making less than what, say, Netflix would be making just offering you content, although we don't have numbers. We don't know how much Amazon spends on original content.
Okay, Dee, great stuff. Thanks very much for that. Meantime, we've got 15 minutes to go before the close. The Dow's down about 0.4%. The Nasdaq down 0.75%. So we improved fractionally in the last half an hour or so.
But the closing bell is just getting started.
Straight ahead, new leadership at one of this country's biggest name private equity funds. Plus, the regional banks versus the big guys. And what Jeff Bezos just said about writing a better, more efficient office memo. The closing bell with Kelly Evans and Wilfred Frost is back in 2 minutes, live from the New York Stock Exchange.
email, everybody. I'm Kelly Evans, down about 115 points right now. The worst performer is the Nasdaq, down 56. We talked about Apple and some of its supplier names being weak today, but let's look at some of the components in the Dow, which are dragging us lower. P&G is down more than 3% on a tough day for all of consumer staples. Maybe has to do with higher rates. They also had results, of course. Intel down less than 3%. Apple's down 2.6%. Dow DuPont down more than 2%. Banks and energy, the only two sectors higher at the moment. Switching tack to a story lining up the investment banking world today, former JP Morgan executive Matt Zames, who had been seen as a possible candidate to replace Jamie Dimon long term and possibly also to join Deutsche Bank, has a new job as president of Cerberus Capital Management. CNBC's Leslie Pickett joins us with more. Leslie.
Hey, well, that's right. Zames's appointment is part of a restructuring or a reconfiguration at the top of Cerberus, the $30 billion private investment firm. Cerberus also promoted Frank Bruno from president to co-CEO, where he'll serve along with Steve Feinberg, who is the founder of the firm. But as you mentioned, Will, what's truly making noise on Wall Street today is Zames's move to Cerberus in general. What does it mean for succession at the firm? Was anyone else considered for that role? What happened to Zames's plans to open his own business, as he said multiple times on the record? Well, as for succession, I'm told by a person familiar that Feinberg isn't going anywhere, at least anytime soon. I'm told that Zames will spearhead many of Cerberus's financial services investments, namely its banks in Germany, Deutsche Bank, Commerzbank, and HSH Nordbank, which they just recently purchased. Zames will also focus on risk management, technology, and regulatory issues, kind of those COO-type roles that he's had in the past. As for other candidates, well, it sounds like there really weren't any. The firm wasn't in serious discussions with others for that specific role of president, I'm told. After leaving JP Morgan last summer, Zames, of course, told the New York Times that he wanted to start his own business. Instead, it sounds like he spent a lot of his time since then as executive in residence at MIT. Guys.
Leslie, some fascinating aspects to this story. One of them is the Deutsche Bank one, which, of course, has seen a new CEO put in place very recently. And I remember during that process, Zames's name was mooted, but always more as a name that some of the foreign shareholders may have wanted, like H&A and like Cerberus. So that kind of talks to that he's ended up there, as opposed to being a real contender. But going back to your main point there, is that when he left JP Morgan, he was, of course, thought of having wanted to one day be CEO of JP Morgan, and one of the reasons he left was to be CEO himself elsewhere. 11 months on, that hasn't happened for him.
Right, well, he definitely wasn't CEO of MIT, which is what he spent most of his time doing. And obviously, as Cerberus here, it has a very ingrained culture with Steve Feinberg at the top. Founder of the firm, has been there forever, and according to my sources, he's not planning on going anywhere. So this was a move to kind of posture his way into the CEO role at some point in the future. I mean, maybe down the road. He's not an old guy. He's under 50 years old. But it's not something that we can necessarily see in the immediate, as I think a lot of people were expecting from him.
Did he get too impatient? Is that the issue?
At JP Morgan?
I guess.
Yeah, I think, listen, he became COO in 2012, and at that point, that was a huge jump up for him. He partly took that role by saying to Jamie Dimon at the time, look, I'm going to sort out this London whale thing.
And he had sorted out the bailout during the crisis.
And he did a lot of that kind of stuff. But I think that if you look at the power structure at JP Morgan, being COO under Dimon was very exciting to begin with, but the individual business heads had the power really, rather than that sort of deputy to Dimon, if you know what I mean, whether that's Daniel Pinto, head of the investment bank, or Gordon Smith, head of the retail bank. So after sort of 5 years or however many years he had in that role, he hadn't really progressed. And I think it was a bit of a standoff or a discussion. He decided to move on, and I think he was considered as a pretty big CEO role, but whether or not this was his top choice or not, we don't know, but this is where he settled.
Leslie, thank you. Leslie Picker there. JP Morgan shares participating in the bank rally today. They're up a little less than 2%.
We have got 42 minutes to go before the close. The Dow's down 0.5%. Nasdaq is the laggard of the big indices, is down 0.8%. Coming up, shares of BB&T rallied today after the bank posted profits that nearly doubled from a year before. We'll speak exclusively with the bank CEO about what's behind the strong quarter. They're up 3% today.
Plus, the newspaper industry is facing a new challenge, and it has nothing to do with leadership. We will explain still to come on the closing balance.
closing bell. I'm Wilfred Frost. Sector heat map view there, as you can see, just 2 sectors higher, really only one meaningfully higher. That is financials enjoying the rise in rates today, which they've been starved of in recent weeks. Part of the reason they're underperforming is a big bounce back from underperformance. Consumer staples suffering partly because of some Amazon news. Real estate down as well. Technology is down, as also highlighted by the Nasdaq. The lag out of big indices down 0.7%.
Speaking of Amazon, today's closing bell quote of the day comes courtesy of Jeff Bezos, who writes in his annual letter to shareholders this year, quote, "We don't do PowerPoint or any other slide-oriented presentations at Amazon," and said Bezos in the letter says they write narratively structured 6-page memos to share ideas. Now, what I love about this, and by the way, of course, if you haven't read the letter already, it is a must-read, just to get inside the mind of this guy, and we talked already about different components of it. It's not so much piling on PowerPoint. I love the fact that he makes them write a 6-page memo and read. Yes, exactly. And he goes, you know what? It's not authored. It doesn't say I wrote it or you wrote it. It's from a team, so it's not everybody on that team has to be able to craft this. But he said people realize pretty quickly, you can't bang this out in an hour or two. This takes days of input and refining to really get it, and the ones that are good really stand apart from the ones that aren't.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I think fascinating with tech companies writing it down, he's wanting that verbal interaction. But also really interesting from his letter, kind of similar to Jamie Dimon's letter that we discussed a few weeks ago, some of these sort of niche little tangents they go off in, like Jamie Dimon did about not liking too many meetings and things like that.
It's important how you run a business.
It's really important. We always think about the big headline strategic decisions, but these guys manage companies that are worth, $500 billion, are really talking about the nitty-gritty of the detail. Also, of course, he did reference a Microsoft.
You can use Word to write, your 6-page memo.
I'm picturing that these are handwritten memos. Have I gone too far with that? I was supposed to.
I'd be surprised.
Reading their books.
I'm sure some Amazon employees will tell us if they're handwritten.
Anyway, I agree. Well worth reading that particular letter.
Yeah, 35 minutes to go into the close. And by the way, the fact that they have over 500,000 people employed is another one to constantly be reminded about. Anyway, yeah, exactly. Dow's down about 0.5% right now. Nasdaq's down 0.8%. So we're down 125 for the blue chip. Still ahead, home building stocks. We're seeing a sharp drop today. We have higher rates, higher lumber prices, some weak earnings. We're going to speak with the executive chairman of Lennar now about the ways rising rates and lumber tariffs are impacting that business.
And on next, bank earnings have largely beat Wall Street expectations. So why is the banking index underperforming the market over the past week? It's not today, but it has over the past week. We'll break down the money mystery. First, go returns.
Welcome back to the closing bell as we look at broader markets with declines today following a couple of back-to-back gains. Here's a check on the leaders in the S&P 500. Not often you see American Express leading the way, but it's at more than 7% today after earnings yesterday, plus rates moving higher, and that's bolstering a lot of the banks, including BNY Mellon, which you see there at 5%. Snap-on, WW Grainger up there too.
Time now for a CNBC News update with Sue Herrera. Sue.
Hello, guys. Hello, everyone. Here's what's happening at this hour. A special day for Tammy Duckworth, who brought her newborn baby girl to Capitol Hill to work and a little Senate vote as well. Earlier this month, she became the first senator to give birth while in office. The arrival prompted the Senate to change its rules, allowing for children to be on the floor.
I
just think it's amazing. I want to thank all my colleagues for the unanimous consent vote. Thank you. A cannabis-based drug meant to treat childhood epilepsy is one step closer to full approval. Today, an FDA panel unanimously voted in favor of the drug, finding potential benefits outweighed any risks. And who among us doesn't need some help assembling IKEA furniture? Take a look at this. Thanks to researchers in Singapore, a robot may soon be able to do the job for you. After being given ordered instructions, the little bot was able to put together this chair. Where was he when I was furnishing my first apartment? Right? Absolutely. And you always end up...
be able to rent one of these. You know, have it come, help put it together.
And you wouldn't end up with that one extra piece that is supposed to go somewhere, but you don't know where.
Until it collapses.
Until it collapses, exactly.
18 months later.
IKEA is one of the most stressful shops.
It really is.
But unbelievably cheap.
You can't pronounce anything either.
Yeah, well, I agree. I was saying, can I have a look at the Strussa couch? I'm going to try to swallow and cough while I'm asking for it and hope they know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Sue, thank you very much.
See you next hour, guys.
Our Super era. We mentioned some of the banks rallying today. BB&T is among them. It's higher by 3% after beating first quarter earnings expectations. The company also cited lower expenses for its record quarter.
Joining us now in an exclusive interview is the CEO of BB&T, Kelly King. Kelly, thanks very much for joining us. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Glad to be with you.
Very nice set of results. Congratulations on that. And the share price clearly performing off the back of it. Partly, though, as well, performing today because of the yield curve picture. Can you just talk to us about your expectations of where that interest rate linked sets of revenue, net interest income can perform for the rest of the year? If we look at the sector, I think that's an area that, despite generally rising yields, disappointed a little bit this quarter.
Yeah, so I think that's right. You know, the concern is with the short end rising, you know, fairly precipitously, and the curve flattening to, you know, similar levels to, you know, pre-crisis. There's some concern that this may be portending, you know, slower times, or some would even say a recession, as it has, in fairness, in many times in the past. So I think that's dampening bank share prices, taking a little bit of the luster away from some pretty stellar, you know, bank earnings for the industry as a whole. So I think it's mostly about, does this signal that the market's getting ready to slow? Everybody's kind of looking past already, as they really should, the dramatic increase in everybody's earnings because of the tax changes, and trying to look through at the underlying real core earnings increases and thinking about what's happening to the economy going forward.
And Kelly, what about loan growth? Because with the tax, particularly the quarter-on-quarter numbers for loan growth, I guess people expected tax reform to lead to lots more activity amongst both your consumer and corporate clients, and that hasn't really been delivered yet either. Do you think that will pick up as tax reform takes effect later in the year?
Well, I absolutely do. I think it was a little unrealistic to expect, you know, a tax change at the very end of the year to have much of an effect on the market by the end of the first quarter. But look, clearly people are very excited, very optimistic about it. I visited 10 of our 24 regions in the last few weeks. I've talked to a lot of business people, a lot of our client relationship managers. Optimism is at an all-time high. Plans are being developed. Our pipeline is at an all-time high. It's going up every month. It just takes a little longer than people think.
nobody thought the tax bill would pass until the day it passed. And so I think by the time we get to late summer, fall, you'll begin to see a substantial increase in investment activity, equipment purchases, rolling stock purchases. So it will happen. It's just a little later than people think.
Kelly, is that pickup going to happen precisely as we're going into midterm elections that could put Democrats in control of Congress and perhaps unwind some of the, I don't know about the tax bill specifically, but some of the deregulatory gains that you've experienced?
Well, I would take a little different view, Kelly. I think if what I just said happens, if the economy starts picking up in the summer and the fall, the Republicans will take full advantage of that, full credit for that. That might actually bolster their chances to hold the House and the Senate. So I'm sure each side will take advantage of it, but actually it should probably benefit the Republicans more than the Democrats.
Kelly, can we talk about your number of branches? In the call you said today, or your CFO said that you expect to close 80 branches in Q2 and close about 150 branches over the course of the year. Yesterday, I was talking to Lloyd Blankfein about their consumer push. Clearly, that is totally branchless. Yet on the other side, today, JP Morgan is confirming its expansion, 70 new branches in the greater Washington area. So there's a clear dichotomy there about whether consumer banking needs branches or not. What's your position on that?
Well, my position is that both are kind of right. You do have to invest substantially in your digital strategy, kind of the branch of the future, if you will. But what JP understands, which is exactly our view, is that it really is a combination of a really robust digital platform along with an appropriate number of branches. 70 branches for JP in the greater Washington area sounds like a lot, but it's really not a lot. It's more in keeping with the new strategy of relatively few appropriately placed branches. Because here's what's happening. The transaction for consumers is moving dramatically to the digital platform, non-branch dependent. But at the same time, the consumers, including millennials, Xers, and Yers, are still very branch dependent. When there's a problem, when there's a complex product they want to engage in discussion about. So the truth is, in today's world, you have to have growth. But this is just JP finally saying we want to go to DC, and they need an appropriate number of branches.
Kelly, thank you very much for joining us today. Great to have you with us as always. Kelly King of BB&T, and shares of BB&T up nicely today following those results. Now, banks having their best day, as we've been mentioning throughout the show. In about a week, the KBE is up almost 2%. Joining us now is David Ellison from Hennessy Funds to discuss the trade a little bit more. David, talk us through your take on the last week, whether it's earnings related or yield related. What are the main factors? And banks shares been slightly hard done by, perhaps.
Well, I think the earnings have been fine. I think that's pretty much been across the board. I mean, most banks are doing quite well, and that's a product of the good economy, some regulatory moves, but basically it's a good economy. The loan demand isn't that good, but I look at that as actually a sign that the economy is healthy. The people aren't having to borrow as much to make the economy work. So again, the last time we had a highly levered economy, we had a problem. So we don't really have that now.
Just on that front, before we move on, Barclays this morning lowered its GDP forecast for first quarter to 1.5% from 2.5%. Now, maybe the first quarter is just weak. Maybe, like everybody's saying, loan demand is weak, but it's going to pick up. But why do you have such confidence that the economy is strong? It feels like we just have the labor market to look at, right? I mean, it can't be that strong if the economy isn't, right?
Well, I think, jobs are the lifeblood of a lot of things. I think, I'm not that concerned about the loan demand. I think it will come. But remember, they're making loans under an environment where they're all trying to make very good loans, which is why credit quality is so good. So as a bank investor, I like that. I mean, I don't want them to be stretching and making loans that are going to have problems 2 or 3 years down the road. We already had that. That didn't work out so well. So I'm okay with an economy that's lending appropriately, that's leveraging appropriately, and I think we're getting that now. But I do think that the problem is really on the liability side, and that's where the concerns are, meaning that if you look historically, a typical bank is going to have a cost of funds right around where the 6-month T-bill is. And that's historically sort of been the range. Most banks now have a cost of funds of 1%. and the 6-month T-bill today is at 2%. So costs are going to go up on the liability side, and is that going to be offset by a rise in the loan yields? And people are saying, well, if it goes up 1%, what's going to happen to loan demand and what's going to happen to credit quality? So I think that's the concern, is that because the short end has moved up, I mean, the cost of funds at banks are roughly 100 basis points lower than they will be at some point in the future. That's a big increase.
David, clearly that's a big concern for the retail banks, the money center banks, but does that pick up in yields if it creates volatility? Is that an opportunity, certainly in a relative sense, to the retail banks? Is it an opportunity for the investment banking names like Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley?
Well, assuming that the market stays open, meaning, you know, those guys benefit from an open capital market, an open Wall Street in a metaphorical sense. And Wall Street is open, they can do deals, people are borrowing money, there's a little volatility, we've got a good business right now. So I think that's going to probably stay there. Rates going up is, I think, good for Wall Street. It gives them a little more room to play with in terms of the difference between the, you know, the yield and zero. So that's good. I also think that a rise in rates is actually good for the economy. Essentially, will make the economy stronger. If you've got the retiree in Florida with $1 million in the bank, you know, 2 years ago they were making $1,000. Now they're making $15,000 a year. Wow. So that's free money that's going to be spent. That $15,000 probably goes to $20,000, because you can get bank CDs now that are at 2%. So the point, I'm just picking a big, but you know, going from $1,000 to $20,000 in 3 years, that's a lot of additional income that's basically free money for people to spend or invest.
David, thanks so much for joining us today. Much appreciated. David Erson from Hennessy Funds.
We have a news alert on Mattel now with Courtney Reagan. What's happening, Courtney?
Hi there, Kelly. So we have some headlines here crossing from Dow Jones, citing sources that Mattel CEO Margot Georgiadis may be in talks to leave the company. Now, it doesn't say exactly why in this report or what else is going on here, but we do know, of course, that Mattel has been struggling. Sales have fallen. Shares under Georgiadis are down about 50% in the year that she's been there. She came to Mattel from Google previously, and you can see that shares are moving a little lower on this news right now, down more than 1%. Back over to you.
Courtney, this is really surprising.
Yeah.
Like you said, she came from Google. This was a much ballyhooed hire, and the fortunes have diverged from Hasbro a little. I mean, is a year, do they just feel like this isn't enough time? Is she getting frustrated?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
You know, and the company is going through a restructure right now. They are working through sort of taking everything that this business does, looking at everything on the table and trying to make smart evaluations going forward. Also noting some other changes within the industry. We know, of course, Toys R Us is liquidating as well, which has certainly hurt a big toy maker like Mattel. But as far as this Dow Jones report citing sources, there's really not much other detail as to why she may be in talks to leave the company. And we know that Mattel does report late next week. So perhaps we'll get some more information, or they will at least address this report at that time, as they haven't yet.
Wow.
Cool. Thanks very much for that.
Is that an English expression?
No, I've never heard it.
It's just a Kellyism. I'm just looking at shares of Hasbro, by the way. Down about 12%, Mattel down 45%. Yeah, no, I mean, there has been some divergence, but this was a big deal move for them to try to shore up a business that we know is challenged, and didn't help the Toys R Us just went bankrupt and liquidated.
Certainly didn't help any of them, but Mattel down 1.5%, Hasbro down 1.7%. We've got 20 minutes to go before the close. We're down about 0.5% or so for the Dow. The S&P and Nasdaq down a little bit more than that. Financials really the only sector outperforming today, but we have improved, in fact, into the close. We're now down only 0.3% on the Dow. Coming up much more on today's market moves and which stocks to watch into the close.
And later, one of America's largest newspapers is slashing jobs, and the reason has nothing to do with digital transformation, more to do with President Trump. That's still to come on the much ballyhooed closing bell.
Yes.
All right, guys, a little quiet over here. I was trying to grab me a little late lunch as always, right? Brother always eating late. Throughout the day, I normally snack on some fruit and water, kind of keep the body clean as much as possible. I'll do my little chickpeas and what is it? Chickpeas and grilled veggies. All right. So again, hope everybody's easing through the day a little bit here. I hope my mic sounds better. I was having some issues earlier. Hope that has kind of worked itself out a little bit here. You know, as we get ready to close out this day here. Now, as I always do, I'm gonna get ready to kind of get me a swing trade together. Find me a little swing trade somewhere that we can take into earnings. Yesterday we was what, 2 for 1, even though it was technically 3 for 3, but United Rentals sold off, even after beating on top and bottom, so it doesn't count. So hopefully today, you know, we can find, you know, 1, maybe 2, that can kind of keep this streak going in terms of these, you know, swing plays, earning plays, whatever you are, whatever the case, showing people we can be successful even with some of the swing trading values too. You know, especially you guys who got, you know, things to occupy your time throughout the day. You can't sit here and focus on the market. You know, so that stuff matters. So bear with me here real quick. Again, appreciate you guys hanging out with me, as I always keep saying. You know, if you have, you know, you got things going on in your life as well. So I appreciate you guys, you know, wholeheartedly for your time, and, you know, be helping each other again, you know, so that's important.
Welcome back to the closing bell. We've got about,
let's see what's happening on the earnings side of the house.
As it goes down, only 0.2% or 52 points on the Dow. Almost stocks.
And who's going into earnings?
Joining our closing bell exchange today, we have Rob Morgan, who's Chief Investment Officer at SEBI.
All right, so let's go on and clean up a couple of positions too. Got 15 minutes before the bell. 15 minutes before the bell.
Welcome to everybody. Sarge, let me just start with you. Coming back here a little bit on the close, 15 minutes to go. Are rates then still the big story?
You know, great day on the market. Again, all over the place a little bit in some cases, but great day in the market overall. No complaints here. You know, outside the GWPH trade that we thought was going to really be a, you know, nice one. Although I hear them talking about it in the news with CNBC about their drug, but you know, you have some people that was ready to take some profit. You know, that's basically what's happened with the asset.
By the way, is this only if it's inflation that's moving that rate over 3%?
So we'll clean up. Let's clean up a couple of positions here.
The same thing without the inflation. Is that a better story?
You've seen commodity prices, I'm sure.
We'll clean up this one. Clean up Roku. We'll clean up Philip Morris. You know, we took Philip Morris in the swing. You know, definitely short Philip Morris, right? Right. Guys gonna be smoking them cigarettes anyway. It's not good for you. Right. Just stuff destroying people, killing people. All right, so we're definitely gonna take Pier 1 off the table. That stock, you know, did phenomenally well. It did everything we wanted to do and did some, I should say. So beautiful trade in that one. You know, obviously earnings play value swing that we took that they would miss, and they actually did miss in a fashion where it was no brainer in shorting that stock. So I'm gonna get ready to cover off that short.
Is the tightest it's been since 2007. So that to me is really flashing, definitely a warning sign.
And yet, Rob,
let's see here.
Financials are leading us higher today.
That's because that spread rallied.
Right, so that one's taken care of.
I'll take 0.60. But if you're holding financial equity,
we have a little bit of HNMY left. Let's see what we can do with that.
I got to tell you, even though everything I just said there probably indicates I should underweight financials, I like financials just from the standpoint of deregulation. And I do think we're going to start to see more of a mergers boom coming on. Maybe boom's too strong.
Yeah, I see volume coming in Philip Morris here. I don't know what that's all about, but I think it's going to break down more than break out.
growth we've seen may not be a target anymore in Mueller. You saw the S&P 500 move a quick 10 handles higher, so it really.
And it's probably got back above VWAP, which is, you know, hey, it's trying to survive, right? It's trying to survive here. You know, it's already, you know, the market's down on the day hours, but you know, sometimes holding that VWAP is a solid indication for, you know, buyers to feel kind of comfortable, at least even in a down market. But you know, we'll see here. Into the close, what happens?
All right, so the reason why the markets are moving off of their worst levels of the session and have gotten back around maybe 70, 80 points just in the last maybe few moments or so.
All right, let's see what we got going here.
Saying
earning plays. So I know there's several that I posted in my description box. Some of the stocks says, oh, let me cut this down in the background. They have earnings this afternoon. Let's see here. Earnings calendar. So definitely Skechers is one. You know, the shoe company Skechers. They actually did pretty well their last earnings, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, old team Skechers, right? So they're definitely you know, something to watch, keep an eye on. Let's see what else real quick here. Let me hurry up because as always, you know, I got like 10, 12 minutes. But that's how I like to move. I like to move kind of right into the thick of it. All right, so we'll see here. So Limelight has earnings after hours. Small cap company. RCI Communications. Unilever. Definitely don't like Unilever. Right, because they actually bought out my buddy that owns Sundial for the Shea Moisture, Nubian Moisture soap, and they're going to put all these little chemicals in it. They're going to put some chemicals in it.
I think we're going to see even farther down the road for the next several earnings seasons. I think it's like a pretty good backdrop for a strong equity market. All right, Sarge, I'll give you the last words.
Hold up, that's tomorrow. I'm not mistaken. I think they got earnings tomorrow. No, it's today. It's today. They have earnings today. You know, they have earnings today.
Rather than buying the equity, I'm selling puts at prices on the chart where I like it. So I'm breaking in the premium. I might get run over.
Yeah.
I'll get run over at a price that I thought would attract it at the time. I collect that premium. So that's what I'm doing. That's how I'm tackling this one.
All right, guys, thank you all. Appreciate it very much. Rob Morgan, Jeff Kilmer.
All right, so we'll see here. Let's see here. Let me do something real quick. I only have a little bit of time here, so I'm assessing some positions off. That's at this point. So I heard me get my positions filled here. I got 10 minutes before the bell. I got more than enough time to do a quick little scan, scout, make it happen. So again, Skechers, E-Trade, obviously E-Trade, the brokerage. You have Integra, East Group, Rogers, Cherokee, a few of them. First, Western, Independent Bank, Davis and T, Social Corp. So a few little financial sprinkled in with some little holdings and one or two little retail. You got brokerage and E-Trade again. Atlas, seeing whatever that is. I think I've seen this one before a few times as well. So let me check something very, very quickly here. Again, going into the bell here, trying to assess, you know, favorable play for a swing here. So tomorrow, that's Friday. So yeah, pre-market, maybe one or two of them that work for a pre-market play. Let's see real quick. Now I don't have time to kind of really go through that. So definitely, okay. Let me check real quick. So I think I remember seeing Skechers last time too, but I think they did well. Actually, it was Q3 or Q4. You know, that's the little shoes, but somebody love them. You know, no disrespect to people like Skechers, right? But you know, those shoes be selling apparently. You know, some of them are clean now. Some of the sketches are clean. I'm just saying, put that out there. All right, but you know, some of them are pretty clean. You know, some of them a little weird though. Keep it at 100. So yeah, we probably take Skechers. Let me see. Let me see what the calls and the puts looking like. Let's see. Okay. All right. So you see some definitely some bullish sentiment. I'm just looking at the fundamentals real quick. So good growth, obviously, on the year. You know, in some aspects, obviously, year over year, Y over Y, it's a good growth value potentially. Even though, you know, this whole thing with the tax credit scenario, but helping some of these companies out in the fourth quarter. Excuse me, but seeing how that parallels for Skechers, a shoe company, that's to be determined. So again, I think we're gonna take Skechers. We're gonna take Skechers, just whatever. We're gonna take Skechers in the earnings, right? Let's do Skechers. Right, we're gonna do Skechers. All right, so let's all right, so let's do Skechers. Let's close out of yeah, we're gonna close out that one. So yeah, so we have a little bit of H&MY left. Yeah, so let's do Skechers. We're gonna do Skechers, and we're gonna find one more nice. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do this one. All right, so. All right, so we got Skechers. Real quick, 6 minutes before the bell here. 6 minutes here before the bell. All right, real quick. All right, just going through some things here, clean up my little so-called books, so to speak. So bear with me, guys, if you guys are still hanging out a little bit here. I hope you guys are, you know, obviously getting your trades and stuff together as well. Pretty sure you are, obviously. You don't need me to tell you that, but just making sure, you know, all your positions are, you know, in a position where they need to be. All right. All right, so 5 minutes before the bell, 5 minutes before the bell, guys. Get excited, you know, get pumped up, right? All right, so possibly. All right, just going on. So 4 minutes before the bell, guys. 4 minutes before the bell. Before potential nice little earning play value here. All right, so ETF. So E-Trade, financials have been doing pretty decent lately. Some of them, you know, credit cards, Amex like that, yeah, but the banks like that, no, they've been getting destroyed. They've been getting destroyed. You know, again, but you're talking about a brokerage here. Brokerages are pretty much solid. In most cases, most brokerages are pretty solid. So I think we're gonna take E-Trade. We're gonna take E-Trade, just looking at this a little bit of his financials. And then again, people keep signing up for accounts. We were talking about brokers earlier today. All right. All right, here we go. All right, so yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of we'll do a little bit of E-Trade. Well, all right, so 7 minutes, give me 3 minutes before the bell. 3 minutes before the bell. Let's see. All right, so
as we approach the close. Let's have a look at the yield curve. The short end of the curve, the likes of the twos at its highest levels for about 9 years.
All right, so we're in there.
A month, the 10 years at its highest for a month, but yields have
as well.
That's improved the sentiment.
Okay, I'm sorry, excuse me. A few minutes, like I said, a few minutes here before we get the bell, guys. A few minutes here before the bell. All right. So 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes before the bell. 2 minutes before the bell. 2 minutes before the bell. All right. Before we get out of here. All right. 1 minute here. 1 minute. Few seconds here before the bell. So it's either go home or go whatever they say, right? All right, so it's either go big or go home, as they say, right? All right. All right, guys, that's it. Do or die, guys. Get it in or go home, right?
Yep.
All right. That's it. Back away from your computers. They say back away from your computer. From your computer. Back away from your computer.
That's it.
Call the police or call whoever you got to call. Call the fireman. Put out the fire you got around your house, right? In blue, you can screen up today, trade these hot stocks. Call your wife, hubby. All right. So long day. Long day. Fun day. All right, so 1 second here. Man, it looked like I took a ton of trades. A lot of them were just some of the ones from old, and then a few of the new ones that we snuck in here and there. All right, so again, we took Skechers and we took E-Trade, right? E-Trade and Skechers. Right. E-Trade and Skechers in the earnings. How are we leaving out on the day? Green, scathed a little bit here and there, but we leave it on the day green. And I also took waste management. So let me share my screen. Sorry. Let me put these stocks up on the screen that I was looking to see that we trading. So I guess that would be helpful. Yeah, so we ended the day pretty solid. After hours is from the big fireworks show as always. So we'll see what comes from that. Again, E-Trade is on the docket. You know, your brokerage company, E-Trade. And we're definitely taking, you know, like I spoke about earlier, we're definitely trading Skechers, right? They did pretty well. I mean, look at the company Skechers. Right? Y'all probably like Skechers, all right? But you go look at they chart, man. They did pretty well over the last, you know, quarters, and on their earnings, they did pretty well. All right, so you know, I'm pretty, you know, a little bullish on Skechers. We'll see. You know, I might get beat up messing with these little ragged shoes, but we'll see. But I've been watching, like I said, over the past, well, last year actually, I've been watching. You know, when they released their earnings, they've been doing doing well. They've been doing well. Skechers has been doing well. I mean, you can go look at it, check it out yourself, draw your own conclusions. But you know, Skechers has definitely been doing pretty decent. They've been doing decent. All right, so we'll see. All right, so we have them into earnings again, and then we also have E-Trade, right? The brokerage company E-Trade. And we also got a little bit of waste management, guys. Waste management, you know, again, most of you guys trash, you know, people that take your trash and waste management company. Another, you know, little company that's, you know, I mean, they give their earnings tomorrow, obviously in the AM hours, but you know, again, we're definitely we have them on the books. So I've been watching waste management for a while too. All right, so 1 second, I'm just trying to get this little raggedy behind the screen thing here to work here.
It's a broader issue. It's a broader issue with respect to perspective. Okay, the default buy to be defensive. The market wants to be defensive. Let's not. What do you mean it wants to be defensive? Does not pull any punches. Majority of people have this infatuation.
Let me see here.
The end of the bull market. Yes. Yeah. The naysayers have been as loud the last 3 months as they've been the last 10 years.
Okay.
It's the same old story, same old song and dance.
All right, there we go. So it's like, man, I wouldn't even trying to get this thing to work here.
Years now we've talked about consumer cyclicals having a lot of capacity. Well, guess what? In the consumer staples part, a lot of capacity. And the consistency of the earnings on a fundamental basis are no longer consistent. You have a lot of different habits with respect to what we're spending our money in. Right. For instance, Apple is more of a consumer staple stock than General Mills these days. We've talked about this. And by the way, they're creating
1 second here, trying to get this thing to come up, man.
Some of this dynamic. Apple had a tough session, down 2.5% too. So, you know, who knows what the deal is going to be ultimately with the iPhone X sales or whatever there. But I know since you're bullish on the market in general, then how do you what does it look like to kind of keep growing while leaving that part of the industry behind?
I would say this: today is a day, right? We've had pretty good.
All right, so okay, so Skechers obviously, they missed on earnings. They missed. Bad customers on Skechers. Bad customer demand on Skechers. So their little match was short-lived. Short-lived on Skechers. There goes Skechers.
Here in the short term, maybe, but I think I'm encouraged that you have oil going up, you have rates going up, and so you have the cyclical trade. I think that's where you're going to.
All right, so that was a bum, a bust.
Just to find a point of the staples, talking about commodity prices going up, in certain expense categories, well, they can't pass it along. Yeah, and they're just going to take them. This the market is.
All right,
Capital.
Out of the last 8 trading sessions, and we're only 6% of the historic highs from late January. Bob Sani joins from the floor with more on that. Bob?
Yeah, you know, 6 out of last 8 days, and with
Where is
China trade on the sidelines, people are saying maybe we can hit those old highs. 5 or 6% on the S&P, but I want to point out
And waste management.
1.5% away from the fiscal 2000, something like that. That's pretty darn close. So there's issues, and there's a very big group out there saying we're going to have a hard time punching through it. So obviously, the Feds, and look what happened today. I mean, they're talking about a fourth rate hike. The two rally killers in history are recessions, we're not having that, and then the Fed getting very aggressive raising rates. We saw what happened today, moving up. We saw the effects on commodities on that. There are other issues out there.
So again, no one's respecting the financial district. So E-Trade, same way. They beat top and bottom. And see, they beat earnings per share, 88 cents. Estimate was 77. Sales, 708 million. Beat the 676 million. So they beat on top and bottom. But again, I don't know if it's, because obviously brokerage companies, and so like in this aspect in terms of E-Trade, they move on a different dynamics, like they're dealing with necessarily comps, so to speak, like a store. But the investors are like, no. So they feeling that same heat that they got from JP Morgan and those guys when they got beat up on their earnings. And people like, nah, I'm out, bro. They like, I'm out. So a lot of people are taking profit. They're selling what they call premium. They're selling premium. Excuse me.
But that said, well, and I guess this is the same tune, but when you go back to the tech suppliers today with those Taiwan Semi results, I mean, you had names like AMAT, ASML.
So definitely. Definitely two down stocks I got going down in the earnings after hours. So waste management has to save today. If not, it's gonna be a wrap. Right. Yeah, since American Express did really well, you're gonna bet. Yeah, possibly. You may get some value in that. Again, holiday season. You think about Amex or any of these credit cards or whatever the case. You're coming out of a holiday season, right? A lot of people use their credit cards or use credit, whatever acquired credit card, so to speak, new accounts to be able to what, fund their holiday season. And coming out of the holiday season, more people were using their credit card because they were broke, right? Buying all this stuff for for the holiday season, where they don't have any kind of liquid capital left. So it's one of those scenarios where companies like that, American Express, Visa, whatever the case, MasterCard, they're that's their kind of season, so to speak. That's their season, so-called, that they do pretty well, right? And that under that regard, we just use some natural observation before you go start looking at their numbers, right? And looking at their books, but they do pretty well. So who knows? We'll see. But as of now, sorry. Give me the text message from the evil. Let's see what's going on here in 1 second. Yeah, so MasterCard, again, like I was saying earlier, MasterCard and those other ones, whenever they have to find out when they have earned it, but I'll be looking at those as well. I will be looking at those as well.
Mattel CEO Marco Giordano's is stepping down, and the new CEO will be Enon Price.
Okay, yeah, all right. So yeah, I'll just read them a message here, guys. Handle a little business real fast here. Well, hold up.
April 26th, it looks like Marco Giordano's will be taking another opportunity in the technology sector. She's going to stay on during the transition, but she was only there for about a year. Mr. Kreitz had previously been CEO at a global digital media and content company. So here we go. That was very fast, but Mattel now has a new CEO. Shares, though, down in response more than 3%.
up a chart of Astra and Mattel over the past year. You can kind of see the pressure that was on the CEO, much ballyhooed higher as she was from the tech world. Came in at a very difficult environment, obviously, to be in the toys business, especially with Toys R Us going out of business. But Mattel down 46% over a year, Mike. Astra down 12%.
Yeah, it tells you that there's not an easy fix, and probably anybody who's coming in there is not necessarily going to have the answer. So, you know, I don't know what the rejoinder is on this one, because it's going to be a little bit of a tough period.
And the reports came out from Dow Jones just before the close that she might be on her way out, and now already they're
let's see. All right, so yeah, just handle a little business real quick. Got to make a quick little move here real fast. We do have the introduction to investment workshop tonight, guys. Just let you guys know, for some of you guys taking it, you know, going through the process. So I have to make a couple of errands real fast before, you know, we have the night session, so I can be comfortable. The Evil has some other little errands to run with the little guy, so I can, you know, free me up a little bit this evening. So I'm gonna have to kind of, unfortunately, shut the party down a little early. And gonna make a couple of errands real fast here, guys. Tonight, again, 8:30 tonight, guys. We still on for 8:30 tonight. Unless something changes or anything happens, we'll be on again tonight at 8:30 for the workshop, guys. I will send out the email, or send a message back in the Facebook message group as well, so you guys have adequate time to kind of know what's going on, and if anything changes with that. All right, but I do plan on being there this evening for the show. So I'm gonna make a couple of errands here real fast before I, free myself up, so I don't get caught out there at the last minute, trying to scramble to get things done. All right, so again, thank you guys for stopping by. Appreciate it. Humbled as always. Finishing the day slightly green now because of Skechers. Skechers beat us up. Skechers beat us up. All right, did well. Then here comes Skechers losing. Well, they actually beat from some values of the numbers, but they didn't. The numbers wasn't good enough. So it's probably comp selling guidance, like it's always with these retail companies. It's always guidance, something like that, that just completely just demolish, the other numbers that you may have, in a sense. So, because of that, again, that stock sold off, and it sold off, ugly. But that's that. Whatever. Whatever. But we are, we all walking away with a little value on the day. And forgive me, guys, but I had a mouthful. All right, let me get out of here, guys. Let me go handle this business real fast, so I can make it to the make sure I'm there tonight for the workshop, and we'll build, kind of, get some information disseminate like we always do, to make the best of our evening, and hopefully we can keep building on where we are. So again, everybody stopped by, hung out with me today. As always, appreciate you. Humbled, honored, privileged, the whole nine. We'll see if we can do this thing tomorrow. Same way things work out. We'll keep building, we'll keep sharing, we'll keep, doing what we can, become better in this craft of trading and investing. And if you have content you want to share, hey, by all means, stop by. Get on the mic, get on the panel, speak a little bit, Don't feel like, feel apprehension, so to speak. I'm still new at this too. I'm not, not gonna say I'm just more radio disc jock. I'm so far away from that. But we have a special class value in terms of what we do as investors, traders. So we always looking for information. So don't hesitate to share your information, share your trade, share your knowledge. Obviously Brent, he's sharing foods, right? He's definitely in that stock for the win, for the long haul. So again, so if you guys have ones like that too, share it. Share it with the fam. Right. So, all right, but I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Like I said, go handle this business real fast. And we should be on again tonight for 8:30, guys. We should be on tonight for 8:30 for the workshop. All right. So, with that being said, as I always say, Uncle Jocelyn, power and profit to the family. We'll be at this thing again. Hopefully everything works out tomorrow, getting after us an opportunity to get us a bag. And definitely, stay in your books, stay studying, due diligence, Right, whatever, you'll need me to tell you that, but hey, housekeeping. Housekeeping. All right, so again, so until the next time, guys, be well, be whole, be humble, and be you. And we'll be at this thing again tomorrow. Man, I just thought about it the whole time. My thing on screen wasn't showing. All right. Well, again, I was running my mouth. That's probably why. And thinking about a lot of the stuff for tonight. All right, guys, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Sorry. See you guys tomorrow.